Wow. Another episode of State of New York Knicks podcast. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate that. It's nice to have these YouTube live streams. It's very nice. And the reason why I love having these YouTube live streams is because you gotta have a different kind of conversation, right? As opposed to like Twitter Spaces and all of this. Like Twitter Spaces is cool. It's cool. I fuck with Twitter Spaces, but sometimes it's just super annoying. Super duper annoying. So, shout outs to Jim Jones. He always come through with this nice, what's this jade bottle and whatnot. He delivers it to my family liquor store every time. So I appreciate you, Jim Jones. Appreciate this, man. Nice gift. Once again, shout outs to Jim Jones, man. He showed me love the other day when I was at the liquor store. Jim Jones and my pops was close. My pops fucked with Jim Jones heavy. He used to let them come in the liquor store after dark, let the strippers change and all this little extra shit, right? But this evening, I got my guy back in the building once again. My graphic designer, who's also a Knicks content creator, which is funny. And the guy I got today is my guy Recap, man. Recap, man. What's up, man? It's nice to hear from you again. Very nice.
Hey, what's going on, State? It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute since I got to get at you. I got some shit to get at you with anyways, but listen, I may not be active, quote unquote, but I see your bullshit. So I seen your bullshit. I can't wait to fucking get started with one of the bullshit that I got to get with you, man. You got me done pissed off about one thing, and I can't let it go. And last night, my man just shut everybody up, and I still hear the same shit say. So I'm gonna let you go. I don't want to go too crazy on you real quick, but yeah, we got something to talk about, brother. You better take your jacket off. You got something to talk about.
Absolutely.
All right, so absolutely. Think you may not be a Twitter space, but you ain't gonna run away from all the shit you've been talking on Twitter. Hey, damn sure ain't gonna do that shit. Not with me. Maybe some other motherfucker, not with me. Shit.
Now with the talk at hand, let's start out the gate. The Knicks, we in game 82 tomorrow. Such a up and down season of emotions from the trading of RJ Barrett and quickly trading Grimes, moving in a certain direction that a lot of us did not want. The signing of Dante DiVincenzo, a guy who I was teasing everybody about last summer, who's one of my team's favorite players right now. But we're at a point with Jalen Brunson. He's playing like the top 10, a top 10 second round pick of all time. He's playing like one of the best New York Knicks guards of all time. He's having one of the best New York Knicks player seasons of all time. He's also helped the Knicks win significantly when he signed here back in 2022, because it's evident with the win-loss column. He's changed the culture. He's the reason why Julius Randle job is safe. He's the reason why Tibbs' job is safe. He's saving everybody in the franchise. Now he's playing like an MVP candidate. When I nicknamed him Jalen Iverson, I was playing around. These past couple of weeks, this fucking guy. Championship 1A, championship 1 option. Don't know if he's the MVP. I think he's an MVP. What do you guys say about Jalen Brunson today?
I mean, I feel like I should be doing the biggest walk right now. I've been screaming off the mountaintops that Jalen Brunson, if not the number one on the team, at least the second best player. And we didn't know. I even said it to the state. We didn't know because we don't know what his ceiling is yet. And the crazy part is we still don't know what his ceiling yet. We don't know what it is because he's still climbing. He's still reaching. In the beginning of the season, could not handle the double and the triple teams. Now, can escape them, can get past them, can pass out of them, can make the team better because of it. That's the thing right there. I remember you and I had a conversation before, State. It was, well, you know what? He's not a real point guard. He don't pass the ball. Look at my fucking phone real quick. One of my followers sent me this shit. So happy I get people to send me shit that I can use against you on shit like this. So Jalen Brunson's last 11 games, averaging 38 and 8. 38 and 8. 8 assists, 4 assists, 11 assists, 8 assists, 8 assists, 7 assists, 6 assists, 6 assists with 61 points, by the way. So it used to be he don't play make. Now they can't say that no more. He don't pass the ball no more. Now he's bounce passing the ball to iHeart, to Josh Hart, and to Dante DiVincenzo. Bounce passes like you ain't never seen. Like how he gets those bounce passes in between space. And then the Curry-esque type of way he gets the ball and goes off the ball, bolts to the corner, gets the ball back again and shoots the ball. And they blitz him like Steph, but they don't get the same result as they do with Steph. As in Steph would miss a couple shots. The thing with Jalen is he can score on every level. He's an every level scorer. He can score in the mid-range. He can hit you on the three. He can hit his free throws. No matter where you put him, he's going to be successful. The thing is, though, the Knicks have been able to unlock him because even though he's seen attention state, the ability to get out of attention, make his team better, but also only need a second for the best defenders to look away and for him to destroy you. Caruso, probably going to make a top defensive team. Can't hold Brunson. He destroyed, picked apart each and every single Celtic player that was guarding him. And I don't give a fuck what the Celtics say. The reason that they rested their players is because the Knicks embarrassed them. They wanted a test. They wanted a test against the Knicks. The Knicks gave them too hard of a test because Jalen Brunson was there to fuck it all up. Jalen Brunson is not only an MVP candidate, he is a superstar. We all got to admit that. I've been on that train, by the way. I've been said it. You can look back since last season. Superstar. We all got to admit that. You especially got to admit that. Because if you're talking Iverson, isn't Iverson a superstar? Iverson one of the best point guards ever, right?
Iverson
You're one of the best point guards ever.
Iverson was doing this over a decade. Cultural impact, got to the finals with Eric Snow and Aaron McKee while George Lynch got hurt. Well, Theo Ratliff got hurt.
Jalen Brunson is doing this with a squad of role players. His 3-time All-Star has season-ending surgery on that right shoulder successfully. Shout out to Julius Randle. 5-month evaluation. He's gone. How the fuck are the Knicks almost at the 2nd seed and you only got one All-Star who's doing it all? Explain that.
Greatness.
Superstar.
It's just superstar for me. It's like it's certain criteria.
Wait. So you say he's not a superstar?
No, I don't think he's a superstar yet. It's a difference. Like yet, he's getting there. If he has a great,
what you want to do?
Get me to the finals.
Okay, so you just have a specific goal for him to be amazing for you. I think if you look at the body of work in terms of what he was meant to do, Adrian Wojnarowski said it best. I don't give a fuck if people say CAA shit. I don't care. He never speaks publicly about a New York Knicks player and says something to this magnitude, saying that Jalen Brunson can be a legitimate number 1 on a contender. When you and I were having that conversation almost a year ago, and you were bashing my head and saying I would probably be sniffing some crazy shit if I was to believe that. It ain't so far-fetched now, is it?
It's not. Honestly, I will say this about Jalen Brunson. He's one of the, like, I didn't expect for him to be this good. I don't know his ceiling as of yet. I just still feel like he's not the best player on a championship team. I feel like he's just too small. So in today's NBA,
what the hell is okay? Stop this shit. Stop this shit right now. Stop this too small shit. This man is scoring against everyone.
Okay,
everyone.
Okay,
it doesn't matter the size. Who has he not scored against?
Name me the last NBA champion that had a player of his size be the best player on that team.
Similar size, Steph Curry. And I just told you doing Steph Curry shit.
Steph Curry led the league in steals one of those seasons.
That's good. Why does that? So Jalen Brunson is one of the top leaders in charges for this year.
Charges are no.
What? So charges not a defensive stat. It don't matter.
It is a defensive stat, but Steph Curry.
So why doesn't it matter then?
Steals, and Steph Curry.
Why does leading the league in steals, and then what Jalen Brunson's doing, one of the league leaders in charges at 6 foot. Why is that not as impressive as
Curry is still six? He's still 6'4" though. He led the league in steals, and he was a great point of attack defender. He's ranked A during his prime season.
Bro, it's crazy to me. You're telling me that Steph Curry's 6'4", getting steals. Jalen Brunson is 6 foot, leading one of the league leaders in charges. One of the league leaders in charges.
I don't view Curry as small. That's my point. I don't view him as small.
He is small. He is.
Now, in my opinion, I don't think
Brunson can body him. Can he not?
Who?
Yes or no?
No.
Brunson can't body him on a one-on-one. You're out of your fucking mind.
He probably can, but Curry can body him too. But
Curry can body everybody with his shot. I'm talking about a one-on-one. You're talking about
Curry's strong.
Body to body.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I'm not saying he's weak. I'm talking about Brunson versus Curry is what I'm talking about on one-on-one. I would go with Brunson. That man is stocky. That's what I'm talking about. And that's a credit to Steph. Steph is not weak, but compared to Brunson and his stockiness, look what he does to other players, other shooting guards that are bigger than him. How can he stay in front of him and still take contact, still be able to defend? He doesn't get credit for being a good defender, bro. He does not get enough credit for that. He stays with his man as much as other defenders do on the New York Knicks team. I'm not saying he's otherworldly, but he's still good. And he's otherworldly on the other end. When you have that type of dynamic, I don't mind you if you're what, a 4 out of 10 on defense when you're a 9 out of 10 on offense.
Yo, shout outs to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all. Big Nick Energy. How many players count as a superstar in the league? I got about
here we go.
7. Got about 6, 7. And my
give me a list.
On my list? Oh, bro.
Don't give me criteria. I don't want to hear criteria. Just give me your list. I'll know your criteria based off your list.
Curry, Durant, Kawhi, Jokic, Giannis.
So everybody who got a ring.
Everybody is skeptical after that.
All right, okay, that's all you got to say.
Like,
everybody who got a ring. That's his criteria, folks. If you didn't
ring,
God, multiple.
Yo,
impact.
recap. I was in Ghana. You tell me if there's a person in Ghana wearing a Donovan Mitchell jersey in Cleveland, like it's levels to this superstardom shit. So like when y'all say superstar, I got a criteria. Brunson has not met that criteria yet. Does he has a chance to get there? Yes, he has a chance.
Jason Tatum's a superstar. Luka is a superstar?
No.
So Luka, Embiid, Tatum, not superstar.
Embiid is a superstar.
He doesn't have a ring. Doesn't meet your criteria.
MVP meets my criteria.
Doesn't meet your criteria. Doesn't have. You said ring. The number one thing you said was ring. You didn't say that shit.
4 things. You said ring. I got 4 slots. Ring. All right.
What was the first
ring?
Thing
is one of them. Ring is one of them. I got 4 slots.
Be one of them. So you got to be one
rings
of them.
Is one of them. Yes.
Brunson meets impact. Then
he has no ring. What cultural impact?
He changed the culture.
He need another season. He need another 2-3 years.
He needs to meet one criteria, and now you moving the goalpost again.
He hasn't met that
criteria. You moved it. You said at the start of the show, Jalen Brunson has changed the culture, and now we talking about cultural impact. What are you saying to me?
I just want this playoff end. Then we'll see. Let me just get a couple of years. I just need a couple of years.
And you can just say that. Don't fucking keep moving the goalposts.
I'm
trying to make it seem like you're not wrong. No, you did it. Not the fuck you did. See what you're doing? See what you're doing? That's why you wanted me to smoke before I came on here, right? That's exactly. I wouldn't remember this shit, so I couldn't go against you. That's exactly why you did that shit. See, I know you. I know.
Are there 8 superstars, 20 superstars? That's a big argument people have because different people have different definitions. Absolutely. My definition is kind of different. Isaiah Thomas. So who the fuck is gonna wake up in the playoffs and become Isaiah Thomas teammates. That's what I'm curious about. If Isaiah Thomas was the last small guard to do it, and he beat Hall of Famers to get there too. Like he didn't hide from smoke to go get that ring.
Jalen Brunson destroyed each and every Celtic defender that was on him. He cooked Drew Holiday. He cooked Jason Tatum. He cooked Jaylen Brown, who defended and picked him up from half court, even full court. He picked him up from the back court all the way to the front, and Brunson still scored on him. And then he switched to Tatum, and skill got dropped on. What else do you need? He's not doing it against the stars of the league?
He is.
He's cooking everybody. Who has he not cooked? Who you need him to cook? Just tweet it out. I'm sure somebody will let him get the memo. And if they face each other, he'll cook them. He's cooked everybody.
I need him to cook up a fucking finals run. That's why I need him to fucking cook up.
Without your 3 times. But look, let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and I'll preface my comments by saying that I do believe this Knicks team has what it takes right now with the roster and the people available to make that deep postseason run. I believe that. But I can't lie and say a 3-time All-Star and Julius Randle doesn't hurt, that situation. So I think that they would have had a better shot with Randle, obviously. They still have a shot, although it's a little bit less. It's in reach. But I think it's only as far as Brunson goes. But Brunson's going to need help, especially the non-Brunson minutes in the playoffs. Your thoughts on that?
So that's a great question. As I take another sip of this J, shout out to Jim Jones with this J. As I take
Jim Jones,
the person that you got on your hoodie right there. OG Anunoby. Shout out to my guy Mike, man. Appreciate
this is
you.
One of my favorite hoodies, by the way. And by the way, it's really not fucking soft, by the way. This shit is rough. It's rugged. This shit, I feel aggressive as hell with this on because, OG Anunoby's on it. And he's not soft. One of the worst takes I've ever heard from you on this planet. You got a handful. Randle over Embiid was one of them way long ago, right?
What you mean? I'm still not trading Randle over. I'm still not trading Randle for Embiid.
I didn't say trade. We talk about talent in terms of better. Who was better?
Oh, I never said Randle was better than Embiid. I said I wouldn't trade him for Embiid.
No, you're not. You absolutely said that blasphemy.
Oh, I was.
And I have about 50 witnesses.
Trolling. Yeah, I was trolling. That was troll talk.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's old troll talk when you're wrong, and then when you right, it's like, oh shit, see, I told you. Yeah.
Come on, who the fuck can say Randle better than Embiid? Come on with that nonsense. Yeah, go ahead. Anyways, with that said, shout out to Uncle walking past. Jalen Brunson, superstar. Nah, I don't think he's a superstar yet, but he'll get that. Now, OG Anunoby is a person who I think is soft. I think he's very soft.
Explain that, by the way. Explain what soft for you means.
So soft means you only take 8 shots when Randle's out.
What?
Exactly what I just said. That's soft. When you're supposed. So it's several factors to it. First of all, we traded RJ quickly for your stupid ass. That's the first thing. So RJ quickly. That's
what's our record? What's our record with that stupid ass?
I don't give
17
a shit.
And what?
17 and 3. 17 3. I don't give a shit.
Oh fuck! Holy shit! But what's crazy? They're giving so much smoke and happiness over to Philadelphia and Embiid coming back and them beating these fucking teams but nobody, even the fucking people who are supposed to in state, don't even give OG his fucking flowers.
He don't get flowers.
What happened last night, State? What happened to Cam Thomas last night? What happened to Cam Thomas?
So OG played like paper man in the first half. Played absolutely terrible in the first half. It was evident because the Knicks was down early and even in the first quarter. He was terrible in the first half. He was 0 for 5. He was playing soft. It was a play where he drove on Mikal Bridges. Why you laying it up like you a baby? Like, he a soft baby. He just tried to lay it up. Got that shit punched. Like, get that shit out of here. So, that was the second quarter. Third quarter comes out. I don't know if he took a bump of coke. I don't know if Tibbs just screamed at him, right? And he comes out and Wow. Looks like Tracy McGrady. Starts making threes, starts making dunks, still a steal for a coast-to-coast dunk. He gets another steal, does the double pump, reverse dunk, and they got to call a timeout. OG was impressive in the third quarter, but I need that all 4 quarters. If he's not giving me that all 4 quarters, I think he's soft. And I think I will continue to call him soft. He's never played above 76 games. If he did, it was only 1 or 2 seasons. He hasn't played more than 50% of his games as a New York Knick. He's soft. Once again, he don't go for the ball. He's not aggressive. I don't like the fact that he wants $150 million and he think he could get $150 million and he want to score 4 points in an NBA professional game scoring. So you think you tough. You want $140+ million in 4 years?
You said that?
No, he ain't say that. That's what I read. I'm just telling you what I read.
Okay, all right, right. And I'm pretty sure the estimate was 140 to 160, no?
I put a little Sasson on it.
Oh, you did. And I'm pretty sure you agreed. I heard your shit with this shit. 35 million was okay. And I remember you going off on the video saying, but 40 million? I think, 35 though? All right. So $5 million difference you was going off on. But all right, cool. Anyways, so 35 million is cool for you. Cool. Blessings to you, brother. OG Anunoby's impact with this Knicks team. I remember that January. You remember that January. I don't remember. I think your Twitter was deactivated in January. Or was it? Because I don't even remember you tweeting.
No, I was tweeting.
Oh, did you? Yeah,
I was tweeting.
I was starting to see shit. I didn't see nothing. But February came along. Oh, shit. It was like a waterfall. That shit came out of nowhere. It was like back to back to back. I seen 70 gifts in a day.
I was tweeting.
The thread was going off. I remember January. You remember January. I remember OG Anunoby and the impact when healthy. You want this man to look like prime who? Tracy McGrady, to quote you, coming back from elbow surgery?
Yeah.
Because McGrady looked so good coming back from knee surgery, right?
What does that matter when we traded him for a 23-year-old who I think is going to be a star soon?
The Knicks are a better team. The Knicks are a better team because of OG.
They're a better team now.
Way better. Way better.
Now.
Better.
All right. We're a better team this whole decade.
And for years. And it was set up to make another move to be destined for success for years.
Okay.
Remember that.
And it's funny because you talk about that next move. The Knicks got a chance to bring back Julius Randle next season, who's coming back from an injury. And they also have a chance to, outside of Julius Randle, add a quote-unquote all-star caliber player. And that's something that's been on my mind a lot. Can you speak to that, matter of fact? Because I'm not going to lie, just moving from combo to combo, I'm just shooting the shit. I was thinking about that the other night. Well, basically, damn near every day is we get Randle back, 2010 and 5. But Leon Rose has a chance to add an all-star caliber player. Do you think wherever the Knicks land in the playoffs or wherever we get defeated at changes Leon Rose's opinion on what he should do with this team?
I think that the playoffs go a long way. I think playoff success goes a long way for anything. When you talk about even paying somebody or anything like that, it all goes back to, postseason performance. So I think that's going to go a long way for everything. It's going to also tell the Knicks, where they need something the most. But it's still going to pose a question mark. Here's the thing, though. The Knicks, and I'm not saying this is a good thing or anything like that, but if you look at it in a way, the Knicks had a decision to make with Randle in terms of an extension, right? They wanted to extend him. Now they actually can wait that year. Normally, maybe they would have extended him again this offseason if he didn't get injured. Who knows? Brunson, same thing. Knicks reportedly want to extend him as soon as possible and max him out as soon as possible. But I think that the reason for that is because they understand the value of doing things now. But if they have the ability to wait on Randle, that's going to be important. That's going to go a long way into what Leon Rose is going to do this offseason, because we got to remember, I know people don't like to talk about it, but the agencies here do matter. I remember Fred Katz even, shout out to him for The Athletic. He even stated when Randle left agencies, when he went to WME Sports and he changed agencies, when he did it, the type of way he did it, the fact that we was with CAA for so long and then went to that agency, it mattered. So I think at the time we all thought it was significant. And I think that if the right opportunity comes on the table again, it could potentially become significant again. Now, I think it'd have to be a monumental person or player that make that type of trade happen. but I think moves are available now that, were never there before. And yeah, if the Knicks team goes to the NBA Finals, let's say, which is a possibility, it's definitely going to make Leon Rose have to make a decision. And you got to figure there's going to be if there's 10 disgruntled stars right now on the list, right, State? By the end of this postseason, there'll be about 20.
And I don't want a lot of them motherfuckers on my New York Knicks. I already told. Matter of fact, we could get. Matter of fact, let's take a segue real quick, right? Because we on a train that's just going everywhere in the fucking tunnel with all the rats and shit like that. Let's take a detour, right? Because we was going to get into Big Pazar, and let's take a detour.
Let's go.
As far as like the Knicks is concerned, and just this summer specifically, you keep hearing about Donovan Mitchell.
Yep.
You hearing about the Knicks' success without Randle, aka the Patrick Ewing theory. Would you apply the Patrick Ewing theory to this New York Knicks if they get far in the playoffs without Julius Randle?
I don't know if it applies here. I think that's a poor comparison because they're not. I think you'll even say it. It's not the same generation is different, but also the same player type is different. I wouldn't say that. I say it says more. If this team does anything in the postseason that's noteworthy, I think it'll be a major accolade, if you will, to Jalen. Because like I said before, this team is good. Don't get me wrong. And nobody can replace Julius Randle. No one. I don't care what anybody says. He is one of the leaders on this team for a reason. You can't replace a double-double 25 and 10, and then he can get you a triple-double some nights. Nobody can do that. Shout out to Josh Hart. Nobody can do that. Right? So Jalen's going to be doing this with role players. You get to the NBA Finals with role players, the entire narrative changes. And not only that, did anybody think about the role players' values that you just increased by getting all the way to the postseason? So Precious Achiuwa, who you just got as a throw-in, now maybe his value is now maybe he could be a starter. Maybe he does have a higher ceiling. And the Knicks could then use that to get another player of significance. Remember, it's all about what you can make the other people think a player is worth, not necessarily what that player's value is right now. Look at the Warriors, for instance, when they were on top. All of their players had a higher value than necessarily what they were worth. And then when they went somewhere else, they didn't really look the same. Harrison Barnes probably one of the biggest, things for that. He looked really good with the Warriors. And then with the Kings, okay, a couple seasons, but never ever looked the same way he did with Golden State. Those high years, right? Never again. It's the same type of thing. I think teams are going to have to make that decision. The Knicks right now are on pace to do that this offseason, to your point, because we have all of our first-round pick State. We own all 7 of our first-round picks. This is the first time a Knicks front office has a contender-like team with all of our first-round picks owned, and we have protected first-round picks from other teams owned as well, too. When's the last time you could say a Knicks front office was this stacked?
I never seen it before, me personally, so I'm not going to say a lot of you. But thank you, Phil Jackson. Thank you, Phil. That's who did it. Without Phil, we wouldn't be here right now, baby. Without Phil Jackson, we wouldn't be here right now, baby. It's all right. It's all right.
You gonna put his fucking Mills next? Mills is next?
Yeah. Mills 2 and Dolan. And what's his name? David Fizdale. It's just fuck Mike Miller for me. Mike Miller. That's the only person I don't like. But anyways, let me not even harp on that.
Yeah.
Talking about culture specifically, who matters more to the culture in a basketball setting? Specifically, all sports, different players mean different things to a locker room's culture, right? In football, I think the quarterback means a lot to that locker room culture. Like, your quarterback can't be an asshole. He got to be able to talk to everybody. He got to be relatable. He got to, even if he white, man, you better listen to some black music. You Spanish, you better listen to white music or black music. Like, you got to be relatable with something. You got to be fucking cool with the fucking guys. You got to be culturally relatable. When you look at Brunson, when you look at Leon, and you look at Tibbs, who the fuck is the guy that changed the culture? Because it got to be somebody pinpointed to what the fuck is going on right now. And who you think it is?
Huh. So, think about it like this. if I'm given land and I have to build on it, right? Then technically whatever I build on that land is mine. My profit, I own it to an extent, and whatever it's cultivated there is mine. Now, I don't own every bit of it. I can't predict or create every little instance. But if I create something and allow it to blossom, then maybe that's what I've did. And if we look back at all the moves, question almost every single one of them. I was one of them, one of the biggest Leon Rose critics. In my opinion, I've seen Dolan after Dolan after Dolan years. I can credit him for staying out of it. Is the best thing I can say. Because I remember how involved he was before and how that looked. So him being out of it was the biggest thing for me. And that started with your guy, Phil Jackson, by the way. So that might be the only thing I'll shout him out for. But other than that, I'll say this. Leon Rose has built this entire thing. He was given the keys and said, go. Brought us Jalen Brunson, brought us Dante DiVincenzo, just shattered three-point record, looking like a young Klay Thompson out here. And not only that, you got Josh Hart as well, too. Josh Hart, who everybody criticized that Cam Reddish trade, and we can go on and on about the horrible if, ands, and but trades right now. Josh Hart getting triple-double after triple-double, leaving it all out there, being a difference maker for this team. I mean, it's hard to say that he's made a bad move. It may have looked bad before, but it seems to work out in some way. And now, whether we like it or not, look at where we are right now. This team, without adding anything, when healthy, is a contending team in the NBA. You add the fact that we can add another piece to it without possibly having to gut this team. What does that make you? That makes you a championship contender for years. I can credit Thibs a little bit for that, for being consistent with his coaching. I can credit Jalen for that, for stepping up his game and, doing everything. But I got to credit Leon for bringing it all together. Without Leon, none of it comes together. So for me, it's Leon Rose, without a doubt.
Yo, without Steve Mills and Scott Perry, Leon Rose would have never had the foundation he's had right now. And without Phil
those
Jackson.
without those two bums, he would have had 2 years extra to work with, and he probably would have had the Knicks in the finals connection. You know why? You know exactly why. Look at everything they did. Where is everything they done right now?
They left your ass with all your first round picks, motherfucker. And your
barely anything.
What?
Barely anything on the cupboard. Barely anything in the cupboard.
What barely anything? All your first round picks, max cap space, Randle at 24 years old.
What was the Knicks record the first year Leon Rose took office? Left us fucking garbage. That's what the fuck he left us. We were rotting away the first year. Leon Rose had to pick up fucking dirt from the ground and said, all right, I'm going to build again. Fucking left us dirt. You act like they left us a dynasty. Act like they were Bob Myers out here. Here you go. Here's 3 chips. You fucking good. God bless you. The fuck? Left us nothing but garbage.
No, but
you out here fucking capping.
Nah, on a serious note, bro. Like, what Leon Rose was left with, right? Just not even trying to like troll or nothing like that. He was left with max cap space, a 24, 25-year-old Julius Randle, a 20-year-old RJ Barrett.
Stop right there. That Julius Randle thing, right? Mm-hmm. You said you were left with a 24, 25-year-old Randle. You knew you'd have to pay Randle, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So even though you're talking about max cap space, technically speaking, the players that were left on the team, you knew eventually those players are going to have to be paid, right? So you could talk about max cap space all you want to. They didn't leave the New York. And I remember that season very, very well, because I remember when Mills came back for no reason very, very well. And I always tried to wonder why those things happen. Nobody's going to tell me this looks very beautiful when it was all bullshit to begin with. We all remember when Mills went to the presidency. Tell me one thing he did good as a president that helped Leon Rose today.
Draft RJ Barrett.
How did that help Leon Rose today?
You have OG Anunoby.
So you're saying because of the draft asset that it was?
You in the timeline, you have to go through necessary events in order to get where you need to be. We had to draft RJ Barrett at that moment in time for Tom Thibodeau to fuck up RJ Barrett's value while fucking up Emmanuel Quickly's value for us to get OG Anunoby, who actually fits Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson. So I think everything happens for a reason. And shouts to RJ Barrett because he's been playing well. With that said, that man on that hoodie right there, that man has to turn into a championship 3 or 2 option in the playoffs. And I don't think he got it. I think he's soft. He gonna keep missing games. His soft ass elbow. There's families right now in New York who's waking up and they, mothers, fathers, 5 kids living in the projects. Gotta feed all these fucking kids, no excuses. And you can't play basketball because your fucking elbow hurt. I don't want to hear that, man.
Let me ask you good. Those families who gotta wake up early and feed their family and stuff like that, right? Do they gotta use their elbows to shoot a basketball and their life determines on whether or not they're good on the court or not?
They gotta use their elbows to pick up their fucking kids' book bags and make some fucking breakfast. I know they gotta use elbows for that.
And of course you can manage the pain, you can deal with the pain, but dealing with the pain and being able to be a player that is not only successful playing at the highest level while you're playing through pain. Let me fucking stab you in the leg and have you do a podcast. And then let's see how long it takes you to fall. You're like, shit, I gotta go to the hospital now. Right? Like, come on, that's the hell we talking about here. Like, that's what the hell you telling me? Like, what are we saying here?
Nah, man. Fuck
He's
that.
not, the off narrative is the worst you've ever come up with.
It's not even a narrative.
Bro, it is because it can't be anything else. There is no truth to it. We are a more successful team with OG Anunoby. We are a better team with OG Anunoby. Defensively, offensively, especially once he gets that elbow right. I didn't expect him to have that shot, right now. I expected it to come along, just like anything else. Mitchell Robinson. I could shit on Mitchell Robinson after every game. I could go in every one of your post games and fucking shit on Mitchell Robinson every game if I want to. Look at his bum ass, Mitchell Robinson, running up the court limping like a little bitch, right? I could say the same shit, right? I don't have to. I could say soft too, right? I don't have to because I know what I'm looking at. A man that's recovering from an injury and doing his best while he's out there. OG Anunoby, same exact thing. The crazy part is each and every game, he's playing longer and doing better. Impact is growing, and it's getting better than the impact he had before because the offense looks better. Because whatever shit was happening with that elbow that was affecting his shot, he's starting to figure it out. It's coming along. The threes look better. He looks stronger. He's going to the basket strong. I agree with you to an extent. I don't think he'll become a 2 or 3, but I don't really need him to be a 2 or 3. I need him to do what he does best, which is lock down the team's other's best defender player, right? So whether that's Tatum, whatever the case may be, lock down that person, but also give me the threes when you're open. If he can do at least that and he becomes that threat, it gives Jalen a lane. You have to make the game easier for Jalen at this point because he's your star. He's your best player. So if you can make the game easier for him, the Knicks are going to win games. If the game is harder for Jalen Brunson, the Knicks are going to find it very difficult to win those games. That's how the Knicks need the game plan going into the postseason because clearly it's worked for the regular season.
A part of that game plan, and shouts to Big Nick Energy, and shouts to everybody who's in the chat too, man. Keep asking questions, whatever y'all want, man. I'm being a part of the chat as well. To climb up the ladder, you gotta fall to the bottom. Phil Jackson, maybe. Shouts to Big Nick Energy. And you're right. It's just me. I'm trying to be skeptical, man. OG Anunoby, a career 11 point per game scorer in the playoffs. He has to get his own shot. Matter of fact, I throw this to you. If Randle was healthy, I wouldn't say he's soft because I wouldn't have to ask. Hold on. I wouldn't have to ask him to score 20 points a game, right? Now that Randle's not healthy, he needs to score 20 plus a night in the playoffs for us to get to where we need to be. No, but you can't do that because Randle's out. If Randle is healthy, then I say OG could fall to the wayside. OG has to fucking score, bro, especially in the playoffs. And he's not the only one who I'm on. Josh Hart, another one. He got to fucking score in the playoffs, bro. Those two right there that I just mentioned, they are the most important to this playoff run. If we're going to have any success in the playoffs, those two have to score. And they have to score by getting their own fucking shot. They was doing that last game. You ain't see me talking shit. You say, I shut the fuck up and fan when I seen that third quarter by OG. I said, okay.
Oh, man. I can't believe that. I absolutely disagree with you 100%. I don't believe those guys are the key factors on points at all. Because I think, first of all, I think that OG.
I'm talking about scoring wise.
Yeah, I don't. First, I think anything you get from a Josh Hart and an OG Anunoby on points, I think is a bonus, because especially for an OG Anunoby coming back, I expected his offense to come along slowly. So I expected this. His defense, I wanted to come back nearly as fast as possible. We've seen that. His offense, just like I saw, is coming along. He's never been in his position to be a number 2. He's always wanted the opportunity, but he's never been put in a position.
Now.
Hold on. But now, again, he's coming back from surgery. He's figuring it out. He's looked good each and every game back. We all can agree. He's looked better each and every game. He's just had his best performance probably offensively since he's been back. So let's see if he can build on that against Chicago tomorrow. If he does that, we'll have more hope for the postseason. But I'm going to say this. I'm not looking at those two. And I'm crazy thinking that I can't believe you're looking at those two. There's 2 people on the bench that I'm looking at, because those two determine where the New York Knicks go. It's McBride and
Bojan. To be clear, I'm looking at OG and Josh Hart. For this specific playoff run with no Randle, those two I'm locked in on, because they got to fucking score. I'm curious to hear
score more than do what they do though. That's what my thing is. I don't want Josh Hart to focus on scoring versus focus on what he does best, rebounding. I'd rather Josh Hart do Josh Hart shit. And then if an opportunity to score comes along, do it. I don't want Josh Hart trying to fucking shoot a 3 because he's open to shoot a 3 when Dante DiVincenzo's next to him. Because the best thing at that point to do is not score. It's to pass the ball to Dante, who has a better percentage to make the shot.
But
that's what I want.
But you see, in the playoffs, though, another team will dictate what player gets that shot. The reason why I'm harping on Josh Hart and OG specifically, because I know they're going to crowd Brunson and I know they're going to crowd Dante. So those two specifically, I know they're going to defend and give me everything else, but they have to fucking score if we're going to go far into the playoffs.
But here's my thing. Look at all the games the New York Knicks have won without their best players. Now, I understand regular season playoffs, there's a level to that. But still, we have to understand, we still can take a whole bunch of games here, focus on the talent that was playing and the players that were scoring. Jalen Brunson was the leading scorer. Dante DiVincenzo sometimes trailed him right behind. Sometimes it was Josh Hart. Sometimes it could be Precious Achiuwa. Sometimes it could be Isaiah Hartenstein. It could be a number of different players. That's the thing. It doesn't always have to be one of these other guys. The thing about the New York Knicks is, and iHeart said it best, they don't play for their own numbers, their own accolades. They play unselfishly. They play for each other. That's why they're good. That's why they're so good. That's why they're beating teams they shouldn't beat. That's why you're thinking to yourself, how did they beat Boston? How did they beat, this team and all their starters were available? How did that happen? It's because they play for each other. That's what makes this team a little bit different. That's why I don't think OG Anunoby has to carry a scoring load, because he's never had to do that even without Randle, and we've won. So I don't think that's really gonna change. Same thing for Josh Hart. I don't think it's gonna change. What's changing and what's helping is Bojan figuring his shit out and getting his offense together, because we've always needed that. That's the reason we made the trade, for him to go off. If he's doing that, and then we get McBride doing it as well too, coming off the bench, and we can maximize those non-Brunson minutes, that's what you need. You do that in the postseason, the Knicks are running through teams, because that's the only thing they need to do right now.
Yo, and this is a funny ass segue. Josh Hart, Big Pazza, Dante DiVincenzo. And he's one of those players. I'm so happy I was wrong about Dante, bro. I'm so happy, bro. That's one of those players where I'm like, I'm glad I'm wrong, because I didn't know. I didn't know.
And you
I didn't know. I didn't
you don't
know.
listen. You don't listen. That's the problem. You don't listen. We told you. A lot of people told you.
No,
And the
nobody.
crazy part is nobody told you. Nobody saw this. Nobody saw a breakout. And nobody thought he was going to start, by the way, either. He was supposed to come off the bench. Nobody thought he was going to take Quentin Grimes' spot. All that stuff happened. There's a lot of things that occurred that made Dante who he is right now. So that stuff had to happen. But Dante DiVincenzo State, I knew he was going to be good because I knew the 3-point shot. I knew we were going to get something like that. I knew he was a good defender as well, too. I watched him play. But I didn't expect him to have the breakout season he's having right now, where he's just near automatic when he shoots. The aggressiveness is what makes him so good. He doesn't ever hesitate. It's like Steve Novak in a way. You remember him? When he used to catch the ball in the corner, never, ever used to hesitate. Not really ever. Almost always catch and shoot. And that always helped the Knicks because it always created an offensive threat there. So defenders never could leave it. You always have to run. You have to collapse on Dante. It creates an opening. And Jalen needs this much to cook you. So Dante creates that much, cooks you. So I think that's kind of what you get there. So I think Dante DiVincenzo State, you may have been wrong about him, but bro, you were wrong about him even when you were proven right about him. It took you a while to buy into the big Paza, as you like to call him.
Yeah, it did. You know what it was? It wasn't because of him though. It was because of what I was used to. Shouts to Eddie Presti. Shouts to my guy Eddie, man. Shouts to everybody, man. Shouts to my guy Eddie, a guy who, on the Twitter Spaces, he be holding me down. Does the Nick at Night show. This Knicks community is getting big about a day, bro. It's becoming so beautiful. Also, shouts to the 240 people listening right now who's watching from YouTube live stream, man. I appreciate y'all, man. This man, this was a special episode for me, because this is the guy right here who, if you don't know, he does all of my graphic designs, and it's a guy who I met through Twitter and met through doing this podcast and shit like that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Recap, just not trying to overly switch the subject, but I was looking for a graphic designer for years. But because you gotta, it's beyond the human aspect of it. I gotta trust you with money. I gotta trust you with information. You get what I'm saying? So it's beyond just finding somebody, but just not trying to overly get off the Knicks. Where the fuck did you get your passion from with doing like the whole graphic design shit? Like where did that come from? If you don't mind me asking.
I hated paying other people to make my shit. That shit used to piss me off because I had to pay people, I had to wait, and then I didn't like it. And if I didn't like it, they had to fucking, ask me for more money to make something. I'm like, yo, I just wasted so much money. And I hate wasting money without seeing an end to it, There has to be a way that I can maximize it at some point. And if I can't, I got to figure out a way. So I just went on YouTube and I learned how to do things. But it took a lot of years. I mean, I wasn't really good. I'm very grateful for AI and a lot of those things as well too, because Photoshop and the tools that I use to do that. I create bases from that, which used to be the most difficult thing in the world to do. Freehand, Big Nick Energy probably does the same thing too. They probably had the same issues at some point where you kind of have to create the base from scratch. And AI has really helped out a lot with, especially with GenFill and all these other things you can use with these different programs. It allows you to create things a lot faster. So I'm grateful for that. I wouldn't be here probably without those advancements. But it does take a little bit of know-how as well too. But the passion really came from just wanting to be able to give back to the community, but also just being able to do it myself so I wouldn't have to rely on anybody else, because I like to be able to do that for me. And I think I've kind of made it a way of life for me. I do everything kind of me, the video editing, the podcast editing, the live streams, all the little things that I do on screen. I'm creating another YouTube channel as we speak right now. I'm trying to monetize that on a whole different brand, different channel, different aspect of things. I'm creating a whole different division for NBA stuff soon. I'm trying to build up a whole lot of different avenues. And the reason for it is because I know what it feels like to be on the opposite end and have nothing. So I want to be able to give it a better avenue for it. And there's really none that exists right now. So I think that it kind of started as wanting to give back, and it's kind of now spiraled into wanting to create something that makes it easier for other people wanting to get into it. Because there's really no written rule book of this is how you be successful with this stuff. Sometimes it's really a luck of a draw, but you can, I think as well too. You can push things in your favor as well if you kind of do certain things right, and obviously graphics help with that. So if you're good with it, that's what helps.
Yo, shouts to OG. I had an OG just now. I should have told him pull up right now, but I ain't gonna do that. He's like, yo, whenever you got some 90s Knicks talk, yo, I'm gonna pull up, man. chill, not right now. Oh God.
Speaking of which, the images shit. I'm dropping another Jalen Iverson tomorrow morning. I got one in the works, and I've been working on that since yesterday. That was gonna be one of my favorites. So shout out to State for that, Jalen Iverson.
Yeah, Jalen Iverson, man. Yo, Brunson. Poof. I didn't know he was this good. And then you get Dante DiVincenzo. Just getting back to the conversation at hand, you get Dante DiVincenzo. He breaks the fucking 3-point record. It shattered it. It like obliterated it. To be honest, and you go appreciate shit like that from Dante DiVincenzo. And this is what Leon Rose has been building. Like, it takes years to do this. It takes years to culminate to this moment, right? It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, right? And then we go to the next guy. We got Josh Hart. And, me and you had a lot of conversation about Josh Hart. I'm not going to repeat what Knicks Raw says Josh Hart on here. Because we can say certain curse words. I won't say that on here, right? I'll be respectful. But
a little bit.
Josh Hart, what do you think? How can I flip this? What do you think is the difference between Josh Hart and Cam Reddish, and why Reddish didn't work and why Josh Hart works, and what Josh Hart is doing now? And did you expect for him to do this now as far as specifically playmaking is concerned?
I think that the reason Josh Hart, first of all, Josh Hart earns the respect and trust from Tom Thibodeau. I think it goes a long way that you're best friends with the best player on the team in Jalen Brunson. So I think that probably has something to do with it as well. But it's also his style of play. I think it fits Tom Thibodeau and what he likes as well. Josh Hart doesn't need the ball to be effective. He can be effective doing everything. He's clearly one of the best rebounding guards in the league, so he can rebound very, very well. But he also can steal the ball very well, coast to coast. I mean, he is a fast break for the New York Knicks at time to time. So, I mean, when you have that ability to do that, of course, Tom Thibodeau is going to make you a favorite. Cam Reddish was a long defender. He was a good defender. But offensively, there was a lot to be desired. And he didn't really do the little things that you wanted as well, too. Josh Hart does all the little things. He'll dive on the floor to get loose balls. He'll try to jump through 5 people to get a rebound. Like he does those little type of hustle plays is the best way I can express it, that nobody else on the team really does. Maybe Dante DiVincenzo kind of does it now as well, too. Like these Villanova guys, man, they always seem to do it. Cam Reddish didn't really have that in him. He had a great offensive bag, and I think he needed more to develop. I just think he didn't have the right coach for development. I think we've always said it. Tom Thibodeau, I mean, while he does sometimes get good with some rookies, right? I think it's not really the case for all rookies. And I think, unfortunately, for Reddish, he just fell in the trajectory of it wasn't the right time for him under Thibs, and other players were back or coming back that Tom Thibodeau liked or wanted to see more of. Quentin Grimes was part of that. And I think that kind of all spiraled well. And then you could go back to what he said about politics and all other shit. I mean, I'm sure that had something to do with it as well, too. But at the end of the day, getting Josh Hart right now, I think he fits exactly the culture of what the New York Knicks are trying to build. The identity of being, hustle, but also physical, and also being able to do everything while you're out there. I think that defines Josh Hart. And when he plays like that, he gives that energy to the Knicks. I think that's another reason why you want him out there. They feed off of that energy. So who else does that?
Yo, you right, man. And shout out to the 244 people who's on Twitter right now watching live. And shout out to the 260 people, 59 who's watching on YouTube, man. We appreciate y'all, man. This is without the fans and the people watching, I don't think there'd be no us. I always try to appreciate the people that support us from afar, man. Because it's sad to say that usually the people you grow up with, like your friends, your immediate circle, is probably the people who don't support you like that. Usually the most support you get is people outside of like your immediate circle. And it's sad that I gotta say that, but that's what usually happens, man. But shout out to this wonderful community, and talking about the Villanova boys, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, and Jalen Iverson, and shouts to Eddie Pressey, man. State created the Jaden Iverson comparison. No one knows it was State and Recap that did the graphics. So to be clear, shout outs to my guy, Coke, my guy Coke Butter Cheese, man. Me and my guy Coke Butter Cheese, we used to talk about Allen Iverson and Jalen Brunson all the time. And me and him just really was just on some Jalen Iverson shit. Well, he called him Allen Iverson. I called him Jalen Iverson. So shout out to my guy Coke Butter Cheese with that. But the graphics, that's all recap, man. That's all recap. So after watching Godfather, right, you leave certain jobs to the expert, and you worry about the shit that you are expert in, and you let the expert be the expert. Never outshine the expert. Let the expert be the expert. Right? So I don't want to. I could do graphic design. I could learn, but I want to write. Not yet. And I'll just leave that to Knicks, my guy Recap, and everybody else. But this has been a nice conversation so far. So let's get to Tom Thibodeau after the Villanova boys, because he's been an integral part of the Villanova boys having all of them basically having career years, right? Yep. And when you got a coach like Tom Thibodeau, who's 31-41 in the playoffs, 500 plus wins, walking Hall of Famer, top 5 in the Knicks in wins in Knicks history as a New York Knicks head coach. Changed the culture when he got here. I call him the white Mark Jackson. That's me, because I knew he was going to change the culture, but I didn't know it was going to change to this extent. How do you feel about Tom Thibodeau? Do you think he deserves a contract extension regardless of where he lands in the playoffs? Let's say if he get bumped in the first round, would you give him a contract extension? Knowing the Knicks, I feel like he's just going to go in the management position, because there is a position that's open right now that hasn't been filled since Scott Perry left, and I think that's for Thibodeau. So, how do you feel about Thibodeau, and what do you think is the next stop if he was to lose in the first round? We know if he gets to the finals or some shit, we're going to resign him regardless. But what if shit get catastrophic for him? What do you think we'll do with Tom Thibodeau?
So, some people are not going to like my answer. I have held firm to this. Tom Thibodeau, for me, is a perfect comparison with Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson took the Warriors to a certain level, and then he could not push it any further. Tom Thibodeau is going to get this team probably consistently to the playoffs with the talent that it has. But I think when it comes down to the playoffs against certain teams where certain matchups, lineups, things like that matter, he might have an issue there. And I think, playoff record kind of speaks to that. I also think that there's probably, maybe not now, but there probably is going to be a coach available that I think might be better suited to coach this team. And if that coach does become available because his team spirals the fuck out of control in the playoffs, which I hope they do, then I think I'd be open to that coach potentially being a New York Knicks head coach. But I don't think that the Knicks are ever going to replace Tom Thibodeau as the head coach, because he just has the New York Knicks fighting for the 2nd seed. And he has lost Julius Randle, has minute restrictions on all of his guys. Isaiah Hartenstein missed a lot of games, even though he started. And Mitchell Robinson missed your starting center when he was active, leading offensive rebounder in terms of percentage in the league, and also a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year because of his impact, went down, and you're still fighting for number 2 seed. I don't think it really matters what he does in the postseason. because I think at this point, and I'm not, for me, it's not, but some people may consider it a gimme. You've gotten this far with the roster that you have. Nobody's expected you to be here. Now, whatever you do in the postseason, which might be a magical run, and if it is a magical run, oh my God, could you imagine that? That's just going to pack on the years to the contract if it's a magical run. But I think Leon Rose has it already written. The only thing left is how many years he's going to write. I think that's legit. I think that's the only thing that you're waiting on right now. So, but I kind of agree, I think, with your state. It's hard for me to say it because he does some things right. But sometimes I just can't. I scratch my head when I see him coach and do certain things, certain sets, certain things that he runs, especially with the personnel, the depth that he has. And you know how certain things works, right? I think LeBron James was very good at saying this. I think he said it with JJ Redick on his podcast. If something works, why don't you just keep doing it? Right? Like if Jalen Brunson attacks the same guy 5 times and it gets you the bucket, right? Why not do it a 6-7 time if it fucking works, right? And if once it stops working or it does not as effective, then switch it, right? Tom Thibodeau is the guy that will make sure that it's not like that because he plays a lot more of a system type of play where a lot of people will get open in certain plays where next play they'll get open. Maybe they're not open this play. It's very, very different. So it allows the ability to spread the ball a little bit better. I think certain things like that limits him. Anytime you play something that's more system where you can't make more on the fly plays, I'm not saying he doesn't do that. I just don't think he does it that well. My opinion.
Nah, I agree. Tom Thibodeau, old school head coach, 66 years old. What I will say about Tibbs is the offense do look crispier this season, but the negative about this offense, we're bottom 5 again in assists. Bottom 10 in the NBA in assists total. And that's been my problem with Tom Thibodeau these past 4 years. He's been the head coach. Is the assist total and the assist per game. Where in isolation, dominated team, we run triangle offensive sets, a lot of pinch posts, a lot of, flare screens, a lot of going to the corners. This is why you see OG Anunoby and a lot of guys spotting in the corner, just waiting for the ball and allowing Jalen Brunson to penetrate, because that's what the triangle offense, that's what they want you to do. Or you get the ball with Isaiah Hartenstein, he catch it at the free throw line. You'll see OG Anunoby cut automatically, and then you'll see Jalen Brunson like flare to the 3-point line. Cool, no problem. And that goes to the next group of guys that I want to talk about, and that is the center position. A position that has had dicey conversations throughout this season in spacing. No spacing. Recap the fucking spacing.
The fuck's in that cup, bro?
Which one? This one?
Yo, you drinking 2 things, bro. I'm trying. You had 3 cups. You had a white cup, a black cup, and you drank that damn bottle. I don't know what the fuck you drinking, bro. Makes it 3 things.
A little champagne, man. Nothing too strong. Dons don't drink too strong. Dons don't get drunk. You get nice. Well, go ahead. Floor is yours.
What was the question? What was the question, though? What was the question? What was the question?
Isaiah Hartenstein and the bigs, right? Just specifically the bigs and Precious, Achua, and whatnot. How do you feel about the franchise bigs this season? You got Isaiah Hartenstein. I believe we have his bird rights, right? But
he's unrestricted, actually.
He's unrestricted, but we got his bird rights, right?
I don't know if we have his bird rights.
Ooh, no, I think we have his bird rights for sure. I think we have his bird rights. No,
I don't.
I don't think
I believe he's an unrestricted free agent after the season. He only signed a 2-year with us. So
no, I believe we have his early bird rights. Thank you,
we have
Big Nick Energy.
Early bird rights. Yeah.
He got early bird rights, but Isaiah Hartenstein, early bird rights.
That's not gonna matter. That's not. Why does that matter though? That doesn't matter if we're not gonna resign him.
It matters if how much cap space that you want to retain. Because if you release his cap hold, it gives you like a not a large amount, but it gives you amount of cap space that you could use. But at the same time, I think even if we allow him to walk, you don't have Alec Burks, you don't have Bojan. I still don't think we have cap space. So, what is your thought process with iHeart, Mitchell Robinson, and Precious? And do the playoffs matter to you as far as paying iHeart and keeping iHeart and Mitchell Robinson? Because the playoffs, where we land, not where we land, but where we end up at, as far as like if we lose, that I think that does matter too. But how you feel about that whole situation?
So I think that iHeart is the best center the New York Knicks have had. I can't even remember since when. The playmaking is the reason why. And once he figures out the free throws, because he already has the motion, he'll be a monster. Once he can go to the line after taking contact with that floater that he already has, he's going to be a monster. I love Mitchell Robinson. Love his defense. Love that monstrous, fear that he puts into other players when they run to the rim. But he's not messing with iHeart and what he can do. I'm not saying iHeart's the same type of defender, but he does a lot of things on defense that Mitch does. Not in the same way, of course, but he does them. And offensively, he's just amazing. The playmaking is just what makes him out of this world. You can tell, too, in the game that we missed him, the games we don't have him, he controls a lot of the top defense. And when he gets the ball in his hands, his ability to run the pick and roll, the threat of the pick and roll with him and Brunson is so strong now that defenders have to run after Hartenstein. And once they do that, Brunson's open. Like I said, he needs this much space. He gets that much space. And so many players can give him that much space. That's why this Knicks team is so dangerous. Dante can give him this much, right? Precious can give him this much. iHeart can give him this much. Josh Hart can give him this much. And that's why they're so good, because they only need to create space for him. That's why he always is Curry-esque. He always gets the ball, he passes it, moves somewhere else, gets the ball back, shoots it. That's exactly what happened. And the person on the team supports that. iHeart is a huge part of that. Love Mitchell Robinson, Precious Achiuwa as well, too. But if I'm prioritizing anybody in the offseason, it's iHeart. And I heard his total was supposed to be around 13. I know Mitchell Robinson has a descending contract, but listen, if I can retain iHeart for $13 million a year, I'm making that signing in a heartbeat, because that man looks unstoppable right now. One of the main reasons behind Brunson, we're on this run. He has been phenomenal, State, without question, one of the best players this year.
Yo, shouts to the chat too. A lot of debates going on right now. Big Nick Energy, early bird rights. You got Eddie saying "fuck out of here," no bird
No,
rights.
bro.
Then you got
Right.
Eddie.
He's an unrestricted free agent. That's what I thought. Yeah, he's an unrestricted free agent.
But then Big Nick Energy counter with early bird rights allows them to offer 140% of the current contract, but other teams can offer him more than that. Eddie counters with 4 years, 72 million is the most we can offer him. And Big Nick Energy counters with that. And also, with that said, Eddie, you are right, and I mentioned this before too. Even if they release all of the cap holds necessary on the Knicks team, we still don't have cap space. So the Knicks have to operate with the assumption that they're using contracts to trade for not even a better contract, but a better basketball player in general. And this leads to my next question. Then we could get to the rest of the guys that's in the rotation.
Yeah.
You spoke about Mitchell Robinson. Who the fuck on planet Earth is taking a Bojan Bogdanovic and Mitchell Robinson and 4 first-round picks for their current star? Can you please enlighten me on this? Because recap, I'm sick of hearing this trade, bro. I'm done. I'm tired of it.
Well, let me ask you something. Look, listen. First of all, I think if those are the players involved, you're likely going to have a third team to come in, right? You're going to have to add more players to sweeten that deal. I don't know who else you're going to have to add, but more players are going to have to be added. I do think that the Bojan Bogdanovic thing is obviously going to be something because of the partially guaranteed. They're obviously going to pick up that deal. He's going to be used as a trade chip, I think. The player is going to be the most interesting thing because it's all about the value, right? Here's the thing, though. We've seen something happening around the league state. I don't know if you noticed. The first round picks have been prioritized and protected like gold, to quote Eddie Presti, right? Gold around the league. Seen a lot of second-round picks move around, and we know the prestige of second-round picks moving forward now. They're only going to have their own night now for draft night. Gives a team now a whole other night to think about drafting, how they're going to react to that whole thing, how they're going to deal with that, what trades they want to make. It changes the entire game. And the Knicks have a lot of assets to make a lot of noise within that time frame. The only thing is now, who do you want to make that trade for? The Knicks have 2 draft picks this year already locked in with Dallas and now their own pick. We know the Knicks are not going to draft 2 players. They're obviously going to make a move. They have all of their first-round picks. I think the move happens this offseason, and let's say it's for and I know it's crazy to say this because I'll just say it anyways. Mikal Bridges, right? Mikal Bridges with the Brooklyn Nets, right? I read an article with Bleacher Report. Just listen to me. I read an article with Bleacher Report. I've heard his value has been lowered because of his poor production this year. Whatever you want to say about his production, whether he's forcing his production to be that way so he can make trades, I don't give a fuck. We also know that the Nets declined the trade from the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green and multiple first-round picks, which right now looks like the most foolish thing you could possibly do because that man is fucking going off. He's legit, looks like one of the best players in the league, right? So there you have that. But that's having egg on your face once. Now you're telling me that the New York Knicks, a franchise that you know this star wants to go to, you want to save face if you're the Brooklyn Nets, because what else can you do at this point? Every single star you've gotten has left you, right? So saving face is the best thing you can do. And you want to recoup your picks, which is exactly what Greg Shorts of Bleacher Report stated they needed to do after that James Harden situation put them in a situation where they're trying to build around Mikal Bridges, who is not the right star to build around. He is not an A1 star to build around. He is a star you add to a core you have established. He's a perfect star for the Knicks because we have already established something. You add Mikal Bridges, he elevates that. Brooklyn's trying to build around that. It makes no sense. You need a 1A to build around, and then you add that. That's why with the Suns, he was so good. He was never asked to carry the scoring load. He was asked to play high-level defense. That's why he's not going to be good with Brooklyn. And I think it's only a matter of time for that value goes real low, and they're going to have to entertain a trade. And the Knicks are biding their time at that point. They're not only waiting for Mikal, clearly, but value matters. And if his value goes down and Brooklyn wants to recoup picks, why wouldn't you trade him there? Especially if he wants to go play with his boys, you know you want to do that, and it could save face if you made the trade. I'm just saying, possibilities do exist. You said that I think about 90% of your chat thought that the Knicks and the Raptors wouldn't do a trade with the lawsuit on the table. We have OG fucking Anunoby. I know the Knicks and the Nets haven't done a trade since 1983. Doesn't fucking matter to me. Why can't it happen today? Everything's different happening in today's state. I'm just saying.
As far as Mikal Bridges is concerned, I would love to have him here. I think it would be Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby on the wings is like
disgusting. Jalen Brunson and Mikal in your backcourt with OG on the wing. Fuck out of here. I want to see somebody stop that shit.
So it's funny how Big Pazza go to the bench, right? And recap, he doesn't even fight it. Yeah, I want everybody to notice that last year he fought me about Dante not to start. Yo, State, you crazy? I want Dante to start. I noticed that you didn't fight not once.
So I don't know.
I mean, I love the Mikal Bridges fit on the New York Knicks right now. I think it's picture perfect. I think Randle, I'm not trading Julius Randle for Mikal Bridges. Let me make that clear to the 290 people that's listening right now. How many people is listening in the Twitter? Let me make sure that all you motherfuckers hear me right now, because I'm not going to sit here and sell you a dream or nothing like that. It's 275 people watching on Twitter also. So it's 500 fucking plus people. It's about 600 motherfuckers watching this right now. I'm not trading Randle for Mikal Bridges. But if you're telling me my starting 5 is Brunson, Mikal, OG, Randle, and I don't give a shit at center, and the Knicks don't get to the finals, that's when I'm gonna go find Leon Rose myself. That is a perfect starting 5. perfect.
You can build a lot of things. You can put things together. It doesn't always mean that it falls together. But the one thing you want to do, you want to
Mhm.
create something that gives you the best chance to cash in your ticket for the NBA Finals. That
Correct.
team is an NBA Finals team. The only thing is with regards to Mikal, he's on a $90 million contract right now. He has 2 years left, I think, on it or something like that. So
Yeah.
he's gonna be coming up for an extension as well too, if and when that trade even does come down. The money is what scares me here because I don't think we can afford all those guys. You're gonna have to make one of those moves, or you don't want to have to make unless you really want to have no bench. And I don't think having a strong starting five and a weak bench is gonna help you. I think we've seen other cases where it doesn't work. So a lot of things are gonna happen. I think I fear certain things. One thing I don't fear though is the ability of this team to respond to anything that's thrown at it, especially when Jalen Brunson's the helm at the show there. But a Mikal Bridges on this team, my goodness, that sounds scary. Because imagine this though. Imagine you kept iHeart in this magical scenario here. So you got to get past Mikal, then OG, then iHeart to score a bucket. Good luck to you.
It sounds sexier when I got Mitchell Robinson in the fold. Uh, with full due respect. I'm
Hold on,
sorry.
hold on, hold on. Let me ask you a question. So would you between the two then, would you want to keep Mitch versus over iHeart? Sound like what you just said. Guessing because you want to keep the kids, I guess. The same shit you always say.
Yeah. I'm just this is bias. There's
Okay.
no basketball talk with this answer right now. This is all sentimental, crystal ball, what Tony would say bullshit. Mitchell Robinson, I'm keeping him over iHeart. It's just a sentimental value there. I think he's better defensively. I think he's a better
Yes.
rebounder as well. And just because he's hurt, he was well on his way to being defensive player of the year. If he would have stayed healthy, he was leading the league in steals. He also averaged 1.2 blocks before he went down. And, understandable. He doesn't score, you know, outside of 5 feet. But defensively, uh, when he was drafted, what he helped the Knicks to win, he's been a part of the New York Knicks for the past 5-6 years. And I'm just not going to let him walk out the door sentimentally wise for iHeart. I prefer to keep them both. The reason why I prefer to keep them both is I believe that iHeart brings something that Mitch doesn't bring, and I believe that Mitch brings something that iHeart doesn't bring. Also, Tom Thibodeau is the coach, so he always going to want a 7-foot guy protecting the rim. And also, I just feel for me, and I don't know how you feel about this, but since Randle's shoulders hurt, I feel like you need all the bigs you could get, bro. Because we don't know when Randle's coming back, and I want to keep
Uh,
Jalen Brunson upright. So that's just me. But you go ahead.
I don't know. I mean, I think when you make panic ads, I think that's when you start to work backwards. I think that you want to make sure you're still adding talent that the team needs. And I think Jalen, I'm not worried about Jalen Brunson has taken so many shots this season, so many charges, he has black eyes all over his face. I'm not worried about Jalen Brunson. I'm worried about the other team, if anything. You can't stop Jalen. So I'm not worried about Jalen at all. Jalen's destroying the league. If anything, I'm worried about some of the role players on the New York Knicks. But I think that with regards to the center position, look, Mitchell Robinson's a great player. I think he's outstanding for the New York Knicks. It's no knock to Mitch, but iHeart's just simply better for me. From what I've seen when Mitch is on the floor and iHeart's on the floor, iHeart opens up the floor more. His passing game is elite. And because of the passing he has, especially the pick and roll that he's created with Brunson, it creates another threat inside. It gives you more space inside if you're Brunson. It allows you to attack with that space, either get you an and one or score, whatever the case may be. We've seen it time and time and time again. Each and every time a defender has to stick by Hartenstein because they can't leave. They can't leave him because they fear the pick and roll. And it just doesn't exist with Mitchell Robinson. And the lob that doesn't even exist with Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson. So there's no threat there offensively. Defensively, sure, he's amazing. And that's great and all, but I can't keep switching them both out and getting the best of both worlds. iHeart is the best of both worlds. It may not give you the otherworldly defense that Mitch gives you, but if I last checked before, in terms of offensive rebounding percentage, he's still like top 3 in the league. In terms of rebounding, he's averaging a career high this year, especially when starting. He's clearly a starter given the minutes he's played and what he's done in the minutes he's played. So I think that the only thing that stopping some people from really saying that iHeart is better than Mitch is you're being emotional. You're holding on to the Mitchell Robinson thing because you remember us drafting him and him succeeding where nobody else thought he should. And he's turned into something being a second-round pick, and that's huge. But it's okay to admit that iHeart is better for the Knicks because he does the things defensively you want him to do, gives you rebounds, but offensively, he's not a burden. And the passing, man, again, it's just, how can you disregard that? His passing with Jalen Brunson, that two-man game that he has, or the passing with Dante in the wing in the corner, or passing back and forth with OG after setting a screen and leaving him open. Who else does that? Nobody else does that. Nobody does what iHeart does. And if you remove him, nobody else can replace it. Not one person.
I think it's the system. When Tibbs, because
switch iHeart out and put somebody else in there. Who does it? It's system. If it's system, then anybody can do it if I switch them out. So switch them out.
Here's the caveat, though. What I said to you about last week, I think the Knicks are a first-round exit. I don't think Tibbs is going to be here next season. So I'm operating under the present tense of Tibbs won't be my coach no more after these playoffs. And since I feel like Tibbs won't be my coach no more, I feel like another coach would value what Mitch Robinson brings over what iHeart brings because they're going to play two different styles of basketball. Look, listen, Tibbs has been doing great. He's been giving guys career seasons. I love what he's bringing. At the end of the day, if we don't get far in the playoffs, or if I see like the first two times where we got in the Tibbs in the playoffs, where the offense is just dog shit when we get into the playoffs, as opposed to the regular season, because he already had the highest offensive rating in Knicks history. I believe it was last season. As the New York Knicks head coach, the quote-unquote defensive guru had the highest offensive rating in Knicks history, right? And the offense was dog shit in the playoffs. If that happens again, recap, he got to fucking go. He got to fucking go, bro. And when he goes, I think the dynamic of the team changes now. Because now it's like, I love iHeart, but outside of Tibbs' system, what can I use him for? What do you say to people like that just said what I just said?
I think that, first of all, Tom Thibodeau, that system shit, I hate that. I hate that argument so much because it's not a system thing. You can't plug in. He's never been he plays a system type of scheme, but he's never been a system player. He's never had, Mitch is out, I'll just replace him with iHeart. The iHeart thing was never supposed to happen the way it did. We're lucky it happened the way it did. And the reason it did started from last season when iHeart admitted to everybody he's going to do better and start playing the Tom Thibodeau way. He said as much in an article with the New York Post, Steph Bondi, where he admitted to himself he needed to play better. He talked to Tom Thibodeau, asked what he could do better, started to play better, even admitted that he's a better defender now because of Tom Thibodeau. So we have to give him credit in regards to that. Thibodeau does make players better regarding defense. I do believe that. We've seen it time and time again. However, there's a level to certain things that Tom Thibodeau does that I don't think gets talked about enough. And here's one of the things that never gets talked about. You know the minutes police, right? Anybody who watches the minutes and talks about his minutes and all that shit.
Yeah, I'm one of them boys. I'm one of the police wardens.
But you would agree with this then.
Yeah.
Playing for Tom Thibodeau, playing 40 minutes for Tom Thibodeau is like another player playing like 45 minutes for another team, right? Because of the way Tom Thibodeau and the way he coaches, the way you play, the style of play, you're more physical. The Knicks are one of the most physical teams in the league. Not only that, but it's when you're a physical team like that and you're taking those shots night in and night out, depending on how you're built, the conditioning has to be up there. Your training has to be up there. It's crazy to play for Tom Thibodeau under a 40-minute game stretch. Like, for instance, playing 40 minutes under Thibs versus playing 40 minutes under Billy Donovan for Chicago. I'm sure does not feel the same way. Right? And I think that's the difference when we're talking about player burnout. It's not necessarily the minutes you play, it's how you play when you're out there. And the style of way a Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau team plays, very physical. And then on offense, they hit you, they hurt you, they bang with you. That's to say what you want to say. If you play any basketball in your life, take shots more than you bang inside and tell me after the game how you feel. Because let's say, you know how anybody feel. You go to Harlem, you play the court real quick. You go inside and you bang with somebody versus you outside taking shots after the game. Tell me who need the icy hot. Who need the patches of ice over here?
Like, so as hell, brother.
Especially if you haven't played for a while, because you gotta bang, man. So people can tell you with Tom Thibodeau led teams, that's what's gonna happen. So the minutes police thing, I don't think it's talked about enough. Tom Thibodeau led teams play so much harder. You can see it. Why do you think people say that burnout exists? It's not because other players don't play the same amount of minutes. It's the way they play. Luka plays mad minutes, right? Does he play the same way as OG does in 40 minutes?
But I think OG and Luka is different kind of players.
Well, all right, go to Brunson then. Go to Brunson. Same shit.
Well, Brunson. Yeah, well, same shit. Well, Brunson, Luka, Brunson. Go on.
Come on. What? What are you saying? Oh, wait. So wait. Hold on. Are you just telling? Wait. Did you just kind of walk on a little by right there? Just put Luka and Brunson in the same category, same tier? Did you just do that? Are you putting them in the same tier?
He kind of in the same tier to me as far as like my situation as far as like stars is concerned. And
Luka's not a superstar to you.
He's not a superstar to me at all. Like I've been told you that. Superstar.
In the chat. How many people we got listening?
What, 303? Luka's not a super. He got to do more. That's all. I'm older.
In the chat, let me know if you think Luka's a superstar or not.
He got to do more. What the fuck he's done?
All right, cool. I hear you. I want to know if anybody else thinks that.
He done? No. You know what to make him a superstar? You know what their first round matchup is this year? They go against the Clippers. You take the Clippers out. You get to the finals. You a superstar. Like, because you got to.
But taking the Clippers out, like, do you think that's a big thing?
Yes, because that is multiple Hall of Famers on that team. Multiple future Hall of Famers on that team. I take that into account.
They play fully healthy with Kawhi. I'll give it something. I think there's a lot more tests in that Western Conference right now than the Clippers, but I think that Dallas has a lot of ground to cover. I don't think that's the only team they got to prove something against, bro. Not to me. There's a lot more dangerous Sharks out there, bro. Way more.
Clippers?
The Pelicans might be one of them as well, too. The Pelicans are a sleeper right now, bro.
Over the Clippers?
Oof. The Pelicans look more dangerous to me than the Clippers do. They do.
Healthy.
They do. Yeah. We talking the same shit then. Pelicans healthy, Clippers healthy.
Sheesh.
I'm thinking. We talk about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking you talking a caveat in there. You no caveat? There's just everybody healthy.
When everybody healthy, look what Zion is doing right now. Look what they was like. Listen, I'm mad wrong right now. Like I still don't want Zion because I think the cost and the injury is all that shit. But I can't deny what this man is doing. He's playing godly right now. Has the Pelicans going ape shit, and CJ as well too, having a real quiet storm type of game right now. Nobody's mentioning CJ McCollum. He's quietly doing this shit over there as well too. They are good. Nobody's giving them no credit at all.
Yo, shouts to CJ McCollum. You know who he remind me of? Like, not just getting off completely off subject, but like people like Michael Finley. You know those people like around our age where those people we don't appreciate until you get older.
Yeah. Like, damn, like nobody does that shit no more. Like, yeah, I know you're talking.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Tony Allen's of the world like that. Tony Allen's the same way as well too, bro. Never get enough credit till he's gone. And everybody considered like one of the best defenders, right? When he was in the league, they called him one of the most annoying players. They hated him. Now he left, one of the best defenders ever. Like, yo, so much credit. But I remember he was playing, everybody hated him, though. I hated him, too. I never wanted anybody to play against him. It was fucking annoying. But I get what you're talking about. Like, some players don't get the credit until, like, they have to leave before they get the credit. Something has to change before they get the credit. So I understand exactly what you mean. But I think right now, man, One thing I want to ask you actually, because you are do you still consider yourself the king of negativity? Is that still like your moniker? You go by that shit?
I feel like being negative sometimes is being objective. So whatever the people call me, that's what I go by.
All right. All right. Playoffs. You said the Knicks are going to be a first round exit. How
Yeah,
can you say that when
absolutely.
you don't even know who the Knicks are going to face?
So I said that statement about a month ago, right? Because I
Okay.
was thinking I didn't know who he's going to play. I told you I had that statement and I tied that statement to I don't want nothing to fucking do with the Orlando Magic. I don't give a shit what the Orlando Magic do in the regular season. I don't care. I don't want to play them first round, right? But I always said we get anybody else in the first round, we could probably beat the motherfuckers. Because I don't want to face. Go ahead. My bad.
You can beat the Sixers?
Yeah, I think we could beat them. I think everybody else we could beat convincingly. It's just something about Orlando with them fucking wings. They're gonna turn up in the fucking playoffs. They don't got nothing to lose, right? If I'm the Celtics, after I got my fucking face punched in by the Knicks, I wouldn't want to play the Orlando Magic because you got a lot to lose. Matter of fact, let's compare it to real life. Recap: when you got a lot to lose, certain things you don't do. Let's keep it 1,000. I give you an example with me and your Twitter accounts, right? You got a lot to lose. It's certain random avies you don't respond to. You just block them. Why? Because you got a lot to lose. So the Knicks right now, we're in a predicament where Randle's hurt. I can't say finals a bust no more. That is irrelevant. You haven't heard me say that in since Randle went down. We playing with house money. So whatever the Knicks do, go ahead. What we got to lose?
What do we got to lose then? You just
We have
said that they
nothing
got
to
nothing to
lose right
lose.
now.
So
We have
why
nothing to
are we
lose.
not dangerous then? Why are we not dangerous then?
That's
like Orlando.
But that's what makes the Knicks very dangerous. But it doesn't make the Knicks dangerous towards Orlando because they some motherfuckers who also got shit to lose. When you got two motherfuckers who got nothing to lose, that shit ain't gonna be a good situation. Recap. I'm just comparing it to real life.
So, the crazy part for me, I think if the Knicks face the Cavs, they'll beat the Cavs. They face the Pacers, they'll beat the Pacers. They face the Sixers, I think it'll be a close series, but I think the Knicks will edge it out, even with Embiid. The Magic, I feel like the Knicks will beat the Magic, but I understand the situation you're talking about. Yo, man, Banchero is probably, if not already, looking like a star. And the question mark over his head for the postseason is scary because if he shows up to be like one of the best postseason scorers you've ever seen, and there's no stopping that man, it's like the first chapter of the story. You don't want to be part of that chapter. I can understand that. However, them being a young team also makes them an experienced team. And say what you want to say, but Jalen Brunson has been part of this dance time and time again. And he has figured out a way each and every time to get out of this first round. So I believe that regardless of who the Knicks face in the first round, they'll get out of that. My fear is based off of seeding who they're going to face in the second round. That's why I want to have them end up with that second seed. Home court's going to be very important, and I want them to have the ability to say that they have home court advantage. So if they can do that going into the second round, I think it changes the course of the entire series. That right there changes everything. It's all up to Doc Rivers and if he's going to, forcibly tank. Don't know. Hopefully it happens, but we're all waiting to see what happens. But I think, man, the Knicks are not getting enough credit, bro. I think the Knicks can go really, really far this postseason. I'm not worried about anybody. I'm not worried about anybody in the East. My fears go up to the West. My fears have nothing to do with the East. The Knicks, as constructed right now, have proven to me already that they can go toe-to-toe with anybody, no matter who they have on the roster, because Jalen Brunson can give anybody that work. Jalen Brunson can smoke anybody. He's not scared of shit, of no one. And if he doesn't figure you out in the first half, he's going to fuck you up in the second half. We've seen it. Go 0 for 5, 0 for 6 in the first half. Next half, explode for 20 and 10. Are you
Yo,
worried about him?
I'm trying to get to that point where like I buy into this team. That's why I'm glad like me and you having this conversation today, because I want to go into these playoffs thinking that I'm watching the 2001 76ers, right? And the 2001 76ers is a team that experienced a Theo Ratliff injury. For the young people who doesn't know, Theo Ratliff got hurt. They picked up Dikembe Mutombo, another Hall of Famer who's just off the scrap heap. But the engine of that team was Allen Iverson, one of the most influential sports figures in sports history. I will say, I'm not going to just box him in the basketball. Like I'm talking about like in history, like one of the most influential. And he took his team that had Aaron McKee, old ass Dikembe Mutombo. Yeah, Theo Ratliff, he was hurt. Yeah, ugly ass George Lynch. You got Eric's fucking Snow. I said Aaron McKee already. That team was not supposed to get to. Matt Geiger, I think, was on that fucking team. He was a goon too, but that team got
Yo,
to the finals and they played Kobe Bryant and the unbeatable Los Angeles Lakers. And me watching Allen Iverson at 11 years old, you feel some type of way about watching it. You go now, Jalen Brunson. If this motherfucker, your recap, I'm telling you right now, bro. He get me to a finals this year with this roster he got. And mind you, this roster, take Brunson off of it. Way better than the 2001 Philadelphia 76ers roster. Not even close. Brunson get me to the finals with this roster. If he wins, this might be the most hardest championship ever. You might have to put it top 2. Besides Dirk Nowitzki, Chip, top 2.
nah. I mean, if he bring a championship to New York with this roster here, it's top 1. He's changed the culture of the city. He's changed the franchise, and not only that, he's done something. You bet the money right now. I don't even know what the fucking odds are. There's no odds in the hell that the New York. You'd be a millionaire. You bet the right money right now on the Knicks. If you think the Knicks are going to take the final, that's how much the odds don't favor it. The Knicks right now are on course to do something very special. Let me be the first to say it here, so I can coin it real quick. If Allen Iverson was the answer, then Jalen Brunson is the fucking problem because nobody can solve him yet. No one. Every time you think you have him solved, he just destroys you even more. He's a problem. He's been a problem, and he's going to stay a problem. Nobody can figure him out. Nothing you do can stop this little guy. Nothing. Every single thing you throw at him, all the blitz that you throw at him, no matter if you trap him on the corner, no matter what you do, he finds a way. That's the most annoying shit when you play basketball. When you just can't stop somebody, no matter what you do. It's like, all right, I guess he's gonna score 40 tonight. And Brunson is making us feel like 21-point halves are normal. They're not. But for him, yeah, it's normal. That's what we're being treated to right now. We're getting this experience that we were never supposed to get from a player that was never supposed to give it to us and is doing it on the stage he was never supposed to do it on and has done it on a level that has exceeded expectations from every single person on the planet. Because regardless of what you want to say, I don't care who you are. We all wanted Brunson to be good. We all maybe thought Brunson was going to be great. Maybe some of us pegged him as an all-star. Nobody has him, and he is now officially top 10 in MVP voting. I think he's 8th right now, actually, right behind Anthony Edwards. That's crazy for a Knicks player without your second best player on your squad to do that. If we don't believe yet, bro, like State, that's why you have to believe. How can you not believe when we're not supposed to be here? You just said it. Take Jalen Brunson out of here. Where are the Knicks? The Knicks are probably a playing team if we're lucky, right? And if that's the case, we're talking about a whole different story. Jalen Brunson has changed everything. And that's the reason why you have to believe in this Knicks team. We're not supposed to be here, but we're here. We're not supposed to be destroying the Celtics, but we are. We got fucking Joe Mazzulla calling the Knicks desperate because that's the only thing he can think of in his head to why he got destroyed so badly. He has no other excursions there. Like, I don't know what they'll say. They must have been really desperate. Because I don't know what else to say why we got to ass whoop so badly. So that's exactly what happened, State. That's what now we here.
Jalen Iverson, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo. I think we got into basically damn near everybody on the roster. We spoke about Tom Thibodeau. We also spoke about Leon Rose. I guess we could speak about this guy. And shout out to the 346 people that's in here. Because this is about to be a little testy conversation before me and Recap get out of here. And I got to bring it up again because now it wasn't too many people in the chat. But now I got to bring it up again. And you know it's going to be about Randle. If the Knicks get far without Randle, do you automatically trade him? Or is the mindset we're bringing back 2010 and 5 with another all-star caliber player? Because remember, we still got those first-round picks coming in this offseason, right? You can still trade Bojan and Bogdanovic. We already had the conversation about Mitchell Robinson and Ihart and who you would take and who I would take, right? So we know we got the necessary cap space. I think the cap space goes out to minimum 36 or 37 million dollars. We're talking about the other fucking cap space, whatever's. But how do you feel about what I just said? And yeah, the floor is yours.
Randle can't be traded anymore. The injury prevents it now. You don't trade for an asset or a player you have a question mark on. Maybe a trade would have been feasible at some point before, depending on how his performance was in the playoffs and things like that. I think that's what everybody was waiting on. Once he was able to kind of overcome those playoff issues, then you could kind of understand value. Until then, he's always really been a question mark, really good in the regular season, and then kind of falters in the postseason. But, one of the best players on the New York Knicks, now obviously a leader for this team, somebody the New York Knicks really need. The Knicks going far is going to change a lot of things for them. We already talked about it. I think it's going to change a lot of their destiny in regards to the trades that they're going to make in the offseason. Because in the postseason also identifies what you're going to lose, what you need. It identifies gaps, voids in your roster. It also tells you what you may not need and what helps you get further. So, while I don't think it's going to say that Randle is not a player that they need, it could say that they are able to get far without certain players, which might make them think that certain players are expendable. Now, whether that's the case with Randle or not is anybody's guess. But, as I mentioned before, and as Fred Katz from The Athletic even mentioned, when Randle switched agencies from CAA to WME Sports, it was a major thing. It was a significant move. We all mentioned that. It wasn't something small. And the way he did it, he's only been with CAA. The fact that that happened, it was significant then. There's no reason to think it's not significant now. But again, I said the injury does protect him because it does, again, give the Knicks time now. They can bide their time, see how he recovers from the injury. So now they don't have to extend him this offseason. Not saying that they were, but now they don't really have to. And it also prevents the trade because, again, you don't trade a damaged asset, especially not Randle, because a player like Randle, you're going to want to maximize the player you get back. You're going to want a superstar level player back because that's the level of impact that Randle's giving you. And if he's injured and you're trading him, I don't see the value ever getting to that level. So I don't think for the Knicks it would make sense. But the clock is ticking because, he does have a player option for, I think, 2026. And, the Knicks are going to have to make a decision on whether or not Randle's going to be for the future or not. And it's all going to depend on his postseason performance. We thought we were going to see a lot this year because that was going to help us with that knowledge and information kind of make the decision moving forward if Randle was going to be somebody that's going to be a Knick for life, which I think a lot of people want him to be. And I have no qualms about that, but you got to step up when it matters. And I think this year was going to be a big year for Randle. Maybe he was going to do that. Who knows? We're never going to know now. But I think that I don't think it necessarily hurts him. Again, Leon Rose makes moves in mind without having to give up a lot of the things that he considers a very key asset, right? I mean, he's given up all the things he's given up to make the trades happen without giving up first round picks, which he understands right now are gold around the league. And if you have to give up that many first round picks to get the star you want without having to gut your team, Leon Rose has struck gold in everything he wants to do, regardless of what the Knicks do this season. Retaining the talent seems like it's Leon Rose's goal to keep what he's built underneath him, the successful parts, but also figure out what's not working and then switch out and switch back in and then redo again. They've done it each and every year, gotten better each and every year because of it. And who knows what this next reload is going to be, but I think it's going to be massive. And the reason because of that, State, Leon Rose up for a contract as well, too. When you're up for a contract year, don't you always want to show out in a contract year?
Absolutely, motherfucker. You're seeing Randle put up Larry Bird stats. Look at Brunson. Brunson put up Iverson's stats. It's almost contract season. But can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think that's just the human aspect of you knowing I got this huge money 12 months from now? I gotta be my best. Let me work even harder to what I'm doing. Do you think that's a part of it too?
For Brunson?
No, I'm just talking about for NBA players in general, not even just for Brunson.
Oh, yeah. Of course, money motivates everybody. I mean, that's obvious, bro. I think money motivates anybody to do anything. I think Jalen Brunson, it motivates him to an extent, but not a lot, though. I don't think he's focused. I think he's just focused on the work. He even says it, too. Like, when he's even, thinking about pick and roll, he's watching his defender. He's focused on the person in front of him. And when he beats his defender, he doesn't even give a fuck about him no more. If he's behind him, near him, to the side, doesn't give a fuck. He beat him. He only cares about the help coming out. Like, Brunson's ability to read while moving and while never stopping. It's really Clyde-ish, bro. Who else has done that? I don't know. Another guard is really. It's hard to go back in time to look all the guards that the Knicks have had to compare skill sets, but my God, man, he's done things we've never seen before. I don't know how else to explain what he's been doing, bro. He's a superstar in my eyes. I've said it a number of times. I don't care if you agree or not. He has to be. You don't put up numbers like this and not be considered a superstar. It doesn't make sense.
Shout outs to
you don't lead a team like that.
Shout outs to the 365 people who's watching. It's 11:23 p.m. Y'all some crazy motherfuckers.
On Saturday.
Saturday.
Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all, bro. Appreciate y'all. Love the Knicks. Last game of the season.
Nah, that's a fact. Appreciate y'all, man. It's a great conversation with my guy Recap, man. I told Recap respectfully, I wanted to try to let this run for at least 2 hours because I wanted to make sure that we get into various conversations that you Knicks fans would appreciate during these 2 hours, man. And I think we got into a lot of great conversations. One of the conversations that we didn't get into, that I guess this is the last piece of this particular pod. Who do you want? And when I say who do you want is this summer, in my opinion, Leon Rose can't wait no more when it comes to like making a star trade. I think we've gotten to that point where, okay, you seeing Brunson, what he doing, you know what you got in him, you know what you got in Randle, you know what you got, blah, 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 blah. Who do you think this summer? Because, and I'm going to throw a caveat in here. I'm going to throw 2 caveats in here. I think Phoenix is losing first round, regardless of where they're at.
I agree.
So I think, okay, so we agree on that. That's one caveat.
Yeah.
I also think that the Nets will be open for business this summer.
I agree.
Due to the way, and I'm not going to tell you what somebody from the Nets told me, like in my DM, like somebody that, but they said they are not happy with him after the whole, but those guys, and another team too, the Pelicans. Brandon Ingram, CAA, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I believe he's clutch. He's CAA clutch. He's one of those.
I don't think it matters anymore.
I don't think it matters either because Leon Rose then did mob boss meeting with the other guys. So out of those three teams, who do you think will let up first? And because you got Devin Booker, you got Zion, you got Brandon Ingram, you got Mikal Bridges. Who do you think ultimately says, you know what? Fuck this.
Right.
We got to trade this guy. And you think the Knicks would get that guy, that said guy?
It's a team you didn't mention. The Cleveland Cavaliers. It was Donovan Mitchell. I don't know why we keep running around this whole circus and story again. It's Donovan. I don't know how many times I can say it. He's not committed to an extension. Dan Gilbert went on, I think it was Associated Press, and openly stated that he is confident Donovan Mitchell will sign an extension with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He loves Cleveland. Perfect. One day later, they asked him about it in the locker room. Too early. Don't want to talk about that right now. I'm focused on this season and winning. Cool. A couple days later, shits on the entire Cavaliers team. Says it's fucking April already. Why the hell are you playing like shit? We got to get our shit together. We talked about this early in the season. It can't happen. So clearly leading to some frustration there. I think he just last year, and then he's a free agent after this year. So he can control his destiny if he wants to. Cleveland is reportedly might be forced to trade Donovan this offseason if he doesn't commit to an extension. So all that's on the table, all over here, right? And that's Donovan Mitchell. That for me is the most likely. Mikal Bridges absolutely ruffled a lot of feathers with that Roommates podcast. Definitely did some things he probably shouldn't have said. And said some things he shouldn't have said probably. And he had a new commercial come out with Josh Hart recently with the Chipotle thing. I don't know if you guys caught it. Shout out to my guy Cynical on the app X. He kind of clipped it. But Josh Hart asked Mikal Bridges, would he want him to be a teammate of his again? And he was on a lie detector for it. I don't know how much of that shit is rigged, but either way, he said yes. It was proven to be true. Either way, I think that that's a possibility, but it also has to depend on the value as well too. I don't think the Pelicans are going to be open up for business, really. I think they're committed to the people that they have because they see that it works when they're healthy. So I think they're going to be committed to just keeping at it and making sure that core gets significant time together because I think it can work once they are healthy. I think that's the only thing they're waiting for. So I think they're going to continue to add to that. But I don't think the Pelicans are going to be a seller, really, or not the players that you're saying are going to be for sale. It wouldn't make sense because when they're good, they're really good. They're good now with those players. It really wouldn't make sense, State. Other teams, like I said before, you have an idea maybe, but Donovan Mitchell, I'm surprised you didn't say Donovan Mitchell. If Cleveland flames out in the first round this year, what the fuck is Donovan doing?
I hate the fit. I hate the Donovan Mitchell.
What is this is fucking stupidest shit in the world. Why is that bad fit? Why is it a bad fit? Why is it a bad fit? Somebody tell me that.
You know why? Because of the other guy that I have sentimental value with, Julius Randle. I don't like the fit with Don. I don't like it. Now, hold on. If Julius Randle defended the rim, then I'll be all in. I don't like the fit.
Brother. What? First of all, I don't think people understand what this second could do. So let me explain again what a Donovan Mitchell it's just fucking crazy. Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson in the backcourt. You're lethal backcourt with those two. Donovan Mitchell, improved defender this year, by the way, one of the main reasons the Cavs have gotten so far. That's the first thing. Second thing is Jalen Brunson actually does play defense, even though the knock against him is he doesn't. One of the league in charges, by the way, too. That's a defensive stat, whatever you want to say. That's your backcourt right there. OG Anunoby takes all your defensive fears away. And if they magically get past that, they got to deal with your center, which is either going to be Ihart or Mitch. Probably Ihart, given that trade. If it's going to be Ihart, that's going to be a crazy mix to have. If you can keep Randle, I don't know if the money is going to work here. Money police, you can catch me in the comments with that. But if the money works and you can keep Randle with that, Randle's ability to pull multiple defenders down low and open up the wings and the perimeters makes him elite. He was doing that this year with bully ball. That's why so many people wanted him to come back healthy. Because if he didn't come back healthy, he couldn't create that contact with that shoulder to get the clean shot. That's why he was supposed to come back healthy. So I agree with the fact that he shut down his season. I'm happy he went through the rehab. But Julius Randle, bro, and that squad, they are destroying the league. I don't know how anybody can't see that. Destroying the league.
So I'm gonna throw these various fours at you.
Go ahead.
Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Paul George, Julius Randle. Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle. Jalen Brunson, Devin Booker, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle. Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, Karl Anthony Towns. Like,
God, never.
So it's
Karl
like
Anthony Towns. That's oh my God.
I don't want Cat. Ew.
No way.
I'm so good on Karl Anthony Towns. This is not even like this is not even a biased opinion for me. Well, it is a little biased. I'm absolutely not swapping Julius Randle for Karl Anthony Towns. I don't want Karl Anthony Towns on the New York Knicks. I already told Ed Memphis on the last like pod I was just in. Shout out to my guy Ed that I think Cat will be a better fit for Memphis as opposed to the New York Knicks, only because of the culture that we built here, and he just doesn't vibe with us right now. Like, not right now. It just it won't be a good mix. And I feel like Julius Randle and Karl Anthony Towns is the same basketball player. I view them on the same level. Now, Cat 50, 40, 90, one of the best scoring bigs of all time, but I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't want Cat either. I mean, he's one of the best 3-point bigs, I think, of all time, right? He shoots three like crazy. So I think that's elite. But other than that, what else does he do that's better than Randle? And even when he's at the biggest stage of them all, right? When he had his teams, didn't win. It's the knock on Randle. He doesn't win. So you're bringing one non-winner in for another non-winner. I don't know. And that non-winner is not as tough as Julius Randle is, in my opinion. I think Cat is soft, man. And it's not.
I do too.
I think if people say he's soft and it's like they try to attack like he's not a good defender. That's not what I said. See, it's not what I said. I'm not saying he can't block shots and he can't get in there and rebound and stuff. He can do that stuff. Why is that? Doesn't make him? He's still soft. He's still soft because he gets pushed around very easily. People who get pushed around very easily, I'm gonna call them soft. If Jalen Brunson can push you around, do whatever he wants to do to you, I'm gonna call you soft. As a center, I'm gonna call you soft. When he did it against Miles Turner, I called Miles Turner soft. What do you want me to say? I can't. When he's 6 foot and he's doing it against a 7-foot guy, you're soft. Oh, I tell you, bro, like Jalen Brunson does that to you. Karl Anthony Towns is not the answer. He's never been the answer, bro. Donovan Mitchell is. I can't believe you can't see that. For somebody who watched basketball as long as you have, seen the backcourts that you've seen, and you understand the defense this Knicks team already has with OG Anunoby in the lineup, I can't believe you are saying small backcourt to me, bro. That's ridiculous.
The only way I would accept Donovan Mitchell on the Knicks is if you move OG Anunoby to the 4 and your 3 is Paul George. Because I need defenders. No. I need defenders. That backcourt is small as fuck. So since it's small as fuck,
OG Anunoby not going to stop you? not going to stop you?
You need 2 of the motherfuckers with them 2 small, short-ass backcourt motherfuckers.
You act like those guys are fucking made of glass, and if you tap them, they break. That's not what's going to happen.
It's not about that. It's basketball-wise. Basketball. We're talking basketball. You need 2 OG Anunobys.
Basketball, right? Basketball. So when they are in defense, right? Defense is played in 2 ways, right? After a fast break is played in a different way as well, too. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So a backcourt Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson not going to be destroying the league like that? They're not going to be stopping defenses?
Who's your 3 other starters?
OG, like I said, if I can get it my way, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, and Ihart. If I can get it my way.
That's not a good other 3 for those 2. I disagree with that.
What are you talking about? You're out of your mind.
OG safe. OG safe.
Julius isn't?
No. He don't fit with that group.
You are out of your mind.
No.
What has made Julius Randle so good this season? Has it not been his bully ball?
It's bully ball, but he needs the ball in his hands. It's not defensively.
And
Randle
what
wouldn't
does
fit.
he does? What does he do with bully ball?
Unless Randle is going to change his game and just be off ball, he goes to the paint and he scores in the basket. That's what he does with bully ball. Recap. That's what he does.
Bully ball.
Mhm.
He takes and does he draw? Does he not draw defenders as well too?
Yes, but he needs the basketball in his hands. That don't work well with a
When he
Brunson
draws
and
defenders,
Donovan backcourt. You know it. OG
when he
or
draws
ball.
defenders, does he pass?
So you telling Donovan to be a spot up shooter?
I'm telling Donovan to do exactly what he's doing with the Cavs.
He can't.
And control. What are you talking about?
He needs the
moves without the
ball.
He can move without the ball. He draws contact. He draws defenders. That's why he would be
Who's spotting
dangerous.
up? So who's spotting up? So who's spotting up?
What are you talking about? Who's spotting up, bro?
Somebody got to spot up.
We got OG over there in the
Yeah,
corner.
and you need another one.
There. Brunson can move to the corner as well too, and he can move to the paint. What are you talking about? That's the best type of corner person to have. Brunson can move inside and outside. Are we talking the same game?
Randle needs the ball, bro.
He draws defenders and passes it.
But Donovan needs the ball too.
And he'll be open to catch the ball.
I don't know if that's going to work.
Oh, yeah, it's not going to work. Let me catch the ball, draw 3 people to me, pass it to the wing where nobody's near this motherfucker, and then he gets to make a decision.
So James Harden don't exist. So motherfucker. Wait, so you think? Hold on. So you think Donovan Mitchell gonna catch the ball and wanna catch and shoot? He gonna dribble the fucking basketball, bro.
He can. That's the point. He can make a decision with the space he has to shoot or to drive.
Me personally, I don't think that 4 could work unless you know what it is. Who's the starting center in that situation?
Iheart.
He can't be.
Why?
Don't shoot threes.
Don't need to.
He needs
Everybody
to.
else does around him. No, you don't.
I don't need Iheart to play make no more if I got Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
you don't need to play make
really.
anymore.
I don't need him to play make.
Right. So you get another playmaker and a legit scoring threat in Donovan, and you want your other passer, one of your best big men and passers, to stop passing the ball. You have a legit scoring threat, another one in Donovan Mitchell. That's what you want to do?
So it's a double-edged sword. Donovan Mitchell is best with the basketball in his hands. 1, 2. Iheart don't shoot no fucking threes. So since he don't shoot threes, he's not gonna fucking space the floor. And 3, Donovan Mitchell's a big dog. He's not spacing the floor for no fucking Iheart.
Did you fucking just say that Iheart doesn't space the fucking floor?
No. Let me be more specific. He doesn't space the floor as far as shooting threes. I'm talking about him standing up, spotting up, and shooting. That's what I'm talking about. That's all I'm talking about.
The fact that he doesn't shoot a 3, of course, that makes him not a stretch fucking 5, but that doesn't make him an ineffective fucking 5. You want to stretch 5, argue for fucking Karl-Anthony Towns then. But what we got right now is a fucking center that can not only score with the best of them, because that floater is fucking crazy, but his passing game is better than most centers we've seen today. But I wouldn't paired with a player like Donovan is destruction. How can you not see that? And Donovan, with the level scorer that he is, he can score on every level. He gets to make a decision with nobody around him. You're telling me you don't want Donovan Mitchell, a player like that with space?
I wouldn't need so basketball wise, I wouldn't need Iheart's passing if I have Donovan Mitchell's playmaking and scoring. Thank you, Unc. Appreciate you. I wouldn't need you get what I wouldn't need.
No, I don't get what you're saying. That don't make no sense. It makes
how?
No sense. Why would you tell your center, who's one of his best assets, is to pass?
Because it's 2024.
So that means with Donovan Mitchell on the team, you know what, Iheart? We got Donovan.
I don't need him.
You don't need to do any of the good things you used to do. Keep that passing to yourself.
Wait, what?
greatness to yourself.
Hold on.
The fuck that makes sense.
Motherfucker, hold on.
Fuck.
Let's get a little nerdy here, motherfucker. Since you're going that route.
Go ahead.
Know about usage rate. I know about usage rate. How the fuck is they all going to be you? How the fuck is that going to work? If Donovan needs the basketball,
oh my
Brunson
God.
needs
How
the
am I gonna
basketball.
explain this? How am I going to explain this?
OG don't need the basketball.
Oh my God, bro.
Hold on. Why would I need iHeart's passing if I got Donovan Mitchell?
It opens up the floor.
Well, so 3-point shooting from a center is more important than passing from a center? Which one is more important if you got Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, Randle, and OG?
It depends on your team. I think.
How? We just gave you the fucking team.
I just told you why. Because he already has 3-point shooters on the squad. That's why I don't care if he makes threes.
The starting five. I'm talking about the starting five.
This is what I am telling you. That's what I'm saying. Who can't shoot a three on the starting five? The starting five you just said. Besides iHeart, who can't shoot a three?
Everybody else can shoot a three. But
so what the fuck are you talking about spacing the floor and shooting threes for the center when everybody around him can shoot a three and he's one of the best passers on the team?
Because
and
Donovan
you're telling
Mitchell,
him to stop.
Because Donovan, as opposed to iHeart getting the ball where the free throw line is at, that's Donovan Mitchell now, right? So let's say Donovan Mitchell flashed to the 3-point line, right? Who do I want around Donovan Mitchell when he's trying to make a play? I want a center who can shoot the three effectively. That's not iHeart. iHeart is now redundant if I got Donovan Mitchell. I don't want Donovan Mitchell. Wait, hold on. I don't want Donovan Mitchell playing the fuck off of iHeart. What?
Oh my God, State. When defenses give you that, you take it. It's not going to happen every play because they're going to attack you different. Why am I explaining this to you? You know that already. Don't try to talk me into fucking. You're not going to do that shit to me. You already know how it fucking works. iHeart pass into a Donovan Mitchell, or if he has the opportunity to control the pass to an iHeart, to a Julius, to a Jalen, and God forbid, Julius is down low, pulling 2 or 3 defenders, and the wings are open, and he's passing to anybody over there. And then they get to make a choice because all of the people he passes it to are such good scorers on every level. They get to decide how they want to destroy you. From 3, going inside and penetrating, going inside, getting the and one contact, whatever you want to do, they all can do that. I cannot believe we're having this discussion and you can't see how beneficial a Donovan Mitchell to this squad could be. He would be game changing. Ridiculous to me. Ridiculous, bro.
I think just basketball wise, and shout out to my uncle, he gave me the 15-minute warning. Because me and Recap, we could argue about this shit all fucking night. Because I just don't. All I'm saying is Donovan Mitchell, for me to maximize what he could bring to the Knicks, I don't think he fits with the Randle and iHeart front court because I want Donovan Mitchell to have the basketball in his hands. With that
Why won't he?
Because iHeart don't space the floor. He don't shoot threes. He don't shoot threes.
He still spaces the floor.
I don't want Donovan playing off. I'm sorry.
That's not gonna always happen. That's a scenario.
It is intense offense.
No, you know it's not. What consistently happens in Thibs' offense? Go ahead. Besides Jalen Brunson going off. What the hell are we talking about?
We talk about the triangle offense, man.
You talking about read and react?
Read and react. Oh man, shouts to the 392 people who's in here right now, man. It's 11:45 p.m. Eastern time, Saturday night. We really do appreciate y'all who are tuning in right now, man. Big Nick Energy and everybody who is following right now, man. This is such a blessing to have this many people on a Saturday night. With one game left in the season, this means a lot to us. This means a lot to me. Especially me as a person who, then cursed out Knick fans and this, that, and the third, and even cursed out Recap to a certain extent, man. We appreciate y'all, man. This was very nice turnout today. I expected for us to have less, but 393 is a lot. with that said, recap. My last question, and then I'll let you get out of here because obviously we're running a business as well, and we have to close. All right, you don't want the cops to give niggas tickets and all that for no reason and shit like that. But
Definitely not.
my last question to you is, what's your confident meter going into the playoffs? 1 through 10. 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. Mine's is, it depends on who wake up. I feel like Two-Face going in this playoffs from Batman. So if my good side wake up, my confidence level is a 2. I'm first round exit. Fuck the Knicks. We're done. If the evil side wake up, right? Not Harvey Dent, just Two-Face. My confidence level is a 9. And it's a 9 because of the Boston Celtics game specifically. I didn't think we could compete without Randle with those tough teams. But talk to Knicks fans about how you feeling right now with the team going into the playoffs, man. Once again, man, recap. I appreciate you for allowing me to talk to you for about 2+ hours. Actually, my fault that we ran over the time, but always showing me love on Knicks Twitter, man. Not judging me. Always allowing me to just be myself. Also with the dope fucking graphics, man. It's always hard to find somebody who loves graphic designing, and I wanted to find somebody who actually loves what they do. And I felt like you're the perfect person. Like, you actually genuinely love what you do, and I appreciate you for that. And also go follow the Knicks recap. He has his own fucking podcast. He's way more popular than me on fucking YouTube. Way more. I'm nowhere near this man. Oh, we're right now. This man I'm with right now, he's way more popular than me. And I love that shit. And I'm striving to be what the fuck he is. Because I'm like, what the fuck I gotta do? I gotta fucking share some live shits or some shit. Look, I dropped my fucking Kang Pop head, whatever the fuck it's called. But last but not least, man, recap, man. Thank you once again for tuning in, man. Thank you to the Knicks fans. 398 fucking people. I ain't 400 right now. I'm gonna be honest with you, recap. It's a lot of people. I watch everybody live stream. I watch everybody. Yeah. I know you do too. And I know you know about numbers. That 400 right now watching live. I don't know if a lot of people is going to get that. And I think I'm only getting that because of you up here. Because you the GOAT. Motherfucker. Look at Brandon. Look at Scoop B. Yo, Scoop. Scoop. You know, yo,
what's going up, Scoop?
I already said to Scoop. Yo, Scoop. I need you up here, brother. Come on. But shout outs to a lot of people, man. Shout outs to my guy fucking recap, man. Shout outs to Scoop B. Scoop, man, I appreciate you for tuning in, and much love to you, Scoop, man. Appreciate that. But shout outs to my guy recap, man. Once again, and recap, the floor is yours, man. Once again, love you, brother. Love when you text me off the random. Hey, how you doing? This is why I text you the same things. Yo, recap, you good? Yo, you motherfucker, you safe? That's why I text you randomly. Yeah. But love you, brother. The floor is yours.
Man, I appreciate you. Appreciate the love and the support. Just been keeping my head down, man, doing different things. I like to keep myself busy and put myself in different situations to succeed. Right now, I'm on a mission to change a couple of things in my life, and that keeps me a little bit of way. But I'm motivated. I'm still motivated to do my Knicks content creation, but also to do a couple of other things I'm passionate about. I don't know how much time I can dedicate to all this shit. It's hard to find time, but if you love something, I think you always find time for it, and especially if you love it to the extent that I think you and I do. I think it becomes second nature. And anything that you love that becomes second nature, please monetize that. I think you owe it to yourself because it's hard to find that in life, especially finding people who are interested in it. And I think State gives me way too many compliments. Growth is hard. It takes a lot of consistency, but I appreciate all the people who are following me, who rock me, who like the takes. I even see people who hate my takes. A lot of people don't like my Donovan Mitchell takes or Mikal Bridges takes, or even the fact that I talk about the offseason moves when the Knicks are a game away from closing out the regular season into the postseason. But listen, love, hate, I appreciate it. I see it all. It all motivates me. It pushes me to do better. And my confidence level for this Knicks team going into the postseason is probably a 8, but I could be swayed into a 9. And Jalen Brunson might do that tomorrow. So, well, yeah, tomorrow. So we'll see what happens.
Yo, you with the Jalen Brunson shit, man. Shouts to Jalen Iverson, man. Recap once again, man. Appreciate you for joining the show, man.
Appreciate
This is
you.
such a blessing, man. God bless you, man. I'm gonna let you go. We definitely gonna talk tomorrow
Yeah.
morning. And thank you once again, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate you. And I want to give thanks to Knicks fans before I get out of here. Recap is one of the best in the business. I want y'all to make sure that you continue to bless that brother and hit that brother up if you need some graphic design. Also shouts to my guy Mike, man. My guy Mike Unseen. You see the Unseen over there, Unseen. That's that Harlem shit, man. My guy Mike, man, he's been a big part of what I'm doing right now behind the scenes. So shouts to my guy Mike. And shouts to Knicks fans who listen to State of New York Knicks, man. Sub, like, and subscribe. It's only gonna get bigger. Pause. I'm trying to get better. And shouts to the merch website, man. Make sure y'all go to that merch website, man. SNYK Printify Me. I saw the merch website as soon as I came back from fucking Ghana. January 3rd. It's been going well too with the merch website. So shouts to everybody, man. Last but not least, man, I can't wait for tomorrow. And shouts to Nemo. Yo, State. I can't wait for the next Knicks show. Yo, recap and State. You guys is one of my favorite people, favorite takes. I appreciate you too, Nemo. Tomorrow I will be on. I won't be in the liquor store though. No, I'm be in the liquor store for me and my guy. Still Knicks fans. My guy Ron. I got Ron pulling up to the liquor store tomorrow. So I'm gonna be up early. Shouts to still Knicks fans, man. Me and my guys still Knicks fans. We're gonna be doing a watch along basically with the Knicks game tomorrow. We're gonna be talking shit while the Knicks game is going. Who the fuck wanna watch the Knicks game and it's the last fucking game of the season? Fuck that. Me and Ron gonna be talking shit. So shouts to still Knicks fans, man. Me and Ron gonna be on tomorrow. And tomorrow evening, I'm gonna be at Chef Restaurant. Shouts to Astoria. Shouts to Queens. I'm be in Astoria with my guy Chef, man. Shouts to Chef. And Chef is my guy, man. Chef John, my Italian paisan, man. That's my guy. And I'm gonna be there tomorrow. We're gonna be doing live. I'm gonna be doing a live stream from there. So anybody from Queens who want to pull up, we definitely gonna be in a restaurant in. And once again, man, I love everybody who's tuned in tonight. Need more State and recap pods. I got you, man. I got you. Say no more. I got you. But with that said, man, yo, Knicks fans, I'm out of here, man. Once again, I appreciate y'all tuning in straight from Harlem. You already know. State of the New York Knicks podcast. And I'm a little saucy too. This little J and shit. I had some J, I had some whatevers and whatevers. But I'm out of here, man. It's your boy State, man. Peace and blessings.